A packed house in Evansville, Indiana for a rubber match between the Evansville Otters and the Lake Erie Crushers. Good evening, everyone, and welcome. I'm Lucas Daunhauer, Griffin Epstein alongside me, our analytical mind for tonight. Griffin, it's been an interesting series so far. We've got two of the top three pitching staffs statistically in the league. Well, how about 33 combined runs in our first two games?
Well, I don't have to be an analytical mind to tell you that the pitching was woeful yesterday, especially for the Otters. Certainly the worst pitching day of the season for Evansville. They really struggled to find the strike zone, 9 walks, 3 hit batters. Otters took a 7-0 lead, great start to the game, but then 14 unanswered runs by the Crushers over 3 innings, and certainly leading the Otters pitchers searching for answers entering today against Lake Erie. But this is a big rubber match for both sides. Crushers have not won a road series all year long, but they can do that tonight in front of a big crowd here on a beautiful night.
That's right. We had a few rare occurrences last night. Just the second time the whole season the Otters have allowed double-digit runs in a game. That last one came on June 24th in a 15-8 loss against Florence. And last night was also just the second time this year that Lake Erie has scored double-digit runs. And the last time that happened, Griffin, opening day at Quebec. So some rare occurrences, but the pitching staffs will be looking to settle down here in a rubber match. We'll introduce you to our starting lineups. For Lake Erie, batting leadoff at short, Jared Watkins. In the two-hole, right fielder Jack Harris batting third, playing third base. Zach Rakusin in cleanup and playing second, Keenan Irizarry batting fifth and playing first base, Josh Rigo. In left field and batting sixth, Drew Galassi. In the DH position once again, batting seventh, Kimuel Thomas Rivera. Batting eighth, catching once again, Don Tuchillo. And rounding out the lineup in center field is Sean Chile. J.D. Hammer will take the mound for Lake Erie. For the Otters, batting first once again and playing left field, Noah Myers. In the two-hole, playing center, Kona Quiggle. Right field, batting third, Jeffrey Baez. And batting cleanup and catching this evening, Dakota Phillips. In the five-hole, playing third, Yomar Reyes. A new face in the lineup, Griffin. Batting sixth and playing second, Josh Broughton. The new acquisition for the Otters will make his debut here tonight. Batting seventh, playing short, Ethan Skinder. Batting eighth, playing first in his 11th game with the Otters, John Dyer. And rounding out the lineup in the DH spot is Brian Rosario. We've got some hot bats coming into this game. You look at Lake Erie, Jared Watkins batting leadoff. He's reached base 5 times this series so far. He was the all-star shortstop for the Crushers. And then on the flip side for the Otters, some hot bats. Kona Quiggle has 5 hits on the series. Jeffrey Baez 4 for 9 with a home run and a walk as well. So a lot of offense, but the pitching staff's certainly going to look to settle down here tonight, Griffin.
Absolutely. I mean, all 9 Otters getting a hit yesterday, but the Crushers, as you mentioned, worst scoring offense in the league, but it all came together at the right time yesterday. But I think we're going to have a good pitching matchup today. You'd certainly expect a more return to the norm of lower scoring games between these two, and the Crushers sweep at Lake Erie last week. Every single game a low-scoring pitchers duel. Last night certainly felt like it could become a trend, but it felt like an aberration for the most part for two sides. Some just very unusual numbers put up, but that's the game of baseball sometimes. And the biggest thing in a 96-game season, how do you respond to a game like last night? Curious on both sides, how both sides answer to last night's certainly strange and eventful ballgame.
That's right. The Otters looking to settle down for sure. Top pitching staff in the league, but they've allowed 4 or more runs in the last 11 games. We're going to break for the national anthem. We'll be right back. You're tuned in on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
The Evansville Otters are mourning the loss of Leah Vandergriff, the mother of Otters assistant general manager Nolan Vandergriff, who died unexpectedly earlier this week. We collectively as a franchise offer our prayers and condolences to Nolan, her loving husband of 36 years, Steve, and the entire Vandergriff family. At this time, would you please pause for a moment ladies and gentlemen, at this time, would you please remain standing as we honor America's freedom, those who now protect it, and pay tribute to those who have made the ultimate sacrifice with the singing of our national anthem, this evening performed by Bobby Shipman.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
A beautiful national anthem and some fireworks to go along with it in front of a packed house here at Bosse Field. Big baseball game here tonight, a rubber match between the Evansville Otters and the Lake Erie Crushers. Game 3 of a 3-game midweek series here at Bosse Field. Evansville coming into the game in 3rd place in the West Division, 31-24 record. The Crushers coming in 8th place in the West Division, record of 24-32. Some keys to the ball game tonight. If you're the Otters, you want to throw strikes. They walked 9 batters and hit 3 as well last night. The command just wasn't there throughout the entirety of the pitching staff. And if you're the Crushers, you want to limit the long ball. The Otters have 2 home runs in each of the first 2 games. Both teams just looking to have productive outs and limit those strikeouts, though. Griffin, 13 strikeouts by Otters hitters in the first 2 games of the series, 19 Ks by Crushers hitters. So guys just looking to put baseballs in play, and we didn't see a ton of that last night despite how much offense there was.
The Otters had 7 runs in the 2nd inning yesterday, but then just 2 the rest of the game. But Lake Erie's pitching staff, it's still one of the best in the league, even if the Crushers sit in the bottom of the Frontier League West standings.
That's right. Justin Watland on the mound tonight for the Otters. He's coming off of a pretty good start at Tri-City. Went 5 innings, allowed just 3 earned runs. He got the win in that outing. Got some really nice early run support. Watland, though, just looking to limit the long ball. He's allowed 6 home runs in his last 3 starts, but 5-3 record, 7.04 ERA. Matter of fact, he's made 7 out of his 10 now starts here at home, and Watland hoping it is home sweet home. Mentioned the recent struggles for Otters pitching staff. It's been uncharacteristic, but chance to write the script here tonight.
Gotta love the crowd. This is gonna be one of the biggest crowds of the season here in Evansville. It's a packed house.
Certainly a fun atmosphere, and Jarrah Watkins takes a first pitch for a strike, and we are underway. Otters in all white home uniforms tonight. The Crushers gray uniforms, or gray pants, excuse me, and purple tops. Watkins drives a ball into deep right center, and that one is caught by Kona Quiggle. He ranges over to his left, and there's 1 away to start the first.
So you see fastball, changeup, cutter, and slider from Watland. Just his 2nd outing since coming off the IL. Watland allowed 10 runs in an outing at Florence. Did not pitch for nearly 3 weeks, but I thought watching him at Tri-City last Saturday, pitched really well. Only 3 runs came across, were all on home runs. Obviously needs to continue to keep the ball down. That's really his biggest issue this season, but a guy with great stuff, was dominant at times last year for the Otters and has been much better here at home and has had a lot of pitching time, as you said, here at Bosse Field, a place he's certainly comfortable in his second year with Evansville.
No doubt. You never know how a guy's going to respond coming into his first start on the mound after an injury, but like you said, some good signs at Tri-City and kept the baseball down on that first pitch. We're having some sort of delay, Griffin. I'm not completely sure what it is. I think it looks like they're going to require both of the base coaches on third and first base line to be wearing helmets.
It was Santiago Chirino, who's on the injured list right now for the Crushers, but acting as first base coach, had his hat on instead of a helmet.
Didn't get the memo that you can't just walk out there in your baseball cap. You never know what's going to happen. Jack Harris will step up now as Watland winds and fires. Fastball misses high, 1-0.
I think the command is the other thing to watch for Watland today.
1-0. Driven, a soft liner, and caught by Yomar Reyes. Nice quick start here by Watland, 2 away.
Obviously, everyone's watching the command after the struggle last night for the Otters, but Watland has had 3 outings where he's walked 4 or more batters, and even some successful outings where he's gotten himself in trouble on the mound. He's definitely a rhythm pitcher. He's had a couple crooked innings where things have fallen apart for him, but if he gets hot, that's where you look out.
Zach Rakusin steps in. He'll take a fastball inside, 1-0, yeah. Watland, though, control's been better as of late. Hasn't had one of those outings where we saw a lot of walks in his last 3 starts. Fastball catches the outer corner there. Count moves to 1-1. Watland taking the sign from Dakota Phillips behind the dish tonight. Kicks and comes home, misses high, 2-1.
That's an interesting matchup, too, for Watland. You face an offense that's the worst scoring offense in the league, but obviously comes in with more confidence than they have all year.
2-1, misses just outside. Count moves to 3-1. Mentioned Dakota Phillips behind the dish tonight. Jake Green gets tonight off after a very busy night last night. He had a lot of work to do. 3-1, misses up and in, and Zach Rakusin will work a 2-out walk.
You definitely have some Crusher batters that have had great series. Rakusin, one of them with 3 hits on the series. Irizarry's going to come up, had 3 RBIs yesterday to go with 2 hits. There's certainly some talent in this Lake Erie lineup. They just haven't put it together consistently for much of the season.
That's right, looking to get some more consistent offense out of their bats. And they've lost 8 of their last 9 series, but that one series win was a sweep against the Otters at Lake Erie. Irizarry takes the first pitch down the middle for a strike. So 2 away, Rakusin on first. Second baseman Keenan Irizarry up to bat. 0-1. Nice breaking ball. Swung on and missed. Count moves to 0-2.
In on the hands. Changeup by Watland. That's so difficult to hit. You got to keep your hips still, especially on those balls in, to get any contact.
That's right. Really threw off the balance of Irizarry there. 0-2. This one, similar pitch fouled off. I think it was another changeup, Griffin.
It was exact same pitch in the exact same location for Watland, which why not? Such a good pitch. If you're commanding it well, you go to it until the Crushers figure it out.
Working out of the stretch, 0-2 count. Watland comes home again. Spun grounded right side of the infield. Broughton makes the play and tosses it to Watland as he covers first base. And a nice inning. Justin Watland works around a 2-out walk. And we'll see the Otters bats for the first time on the other side. You're tuned in to Otters Baseball on the Otters Digital Network and watching on Flow Sports.
Here we go. Who's going to be the fastest pizza delivery person tonight? Got some youngins and some older ones here racing. They're trotting. They're not racing. race as we head back upstairs to sing.
Our pitch to catch your battery for the Lake Erie Crushers. J.D. Hammer's on the mound. Don Chillo behind the plate. It's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your battery needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 Ocean Road or 812-475-9000.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, bottom of the first. Still no runs across the board. J.D. Hammer on the mound tonight for Lake Erie, a guy with some big league experience, pitched in both 2019 and 2021 out of the bullpen with the Philadelphia Phillies. He's been pretty solid this year, Griffin. 2.85 ERA, 2-2 record in 7 starts. The Otters did face him in that series sweep up at Lake Erie. He went 5 1/3, no decision allowed, just 1 hit, 1 earned run. So see how the Otters respond here. Second time getting to see Hammer on the season.
Hammer was excellent. That was probably the Otters' worst hitting game all season. They only mustered 3 hits all game, their lowest total of the year, and Hammer was lights out. Certainly looked like a big leaguer.
Noah Myers taking all the way just to see a pitch right down the middle, 0-1. Well, when you've got big league stuff, it certainly can do some damage here in independent ball. 0-1 misses outside, 1-1.
He started his season as a reliever, which is what he was with the Philadelphia Phillies in 2019 and last year with the Albuquerque Isotopes, AAA ball, but has moved over to starter with a lot of success.
Ball driven into deep right field. Harris giving chase, and this one is off the wall. Myers rounds first hard. He's going to be into second, and forget the big league stuff, Noah Myers says. How about a leadoff double, and the extra base hits continue to come from this Otters offense.
Myers led off with a base hit against Hammer back on July 4th in the first start between these two, but the Otters didn't muster another hit against Hammer until the 6th inning, so hoping for a different result here today. Especially think a good start important today for Evansville after the disarray of last night's defeat.
That's right. They've put this game behind them, at least Noah Myers has, and he'll start off on second. That's going to bring up Kona Quiggle. He squares around a bunt, pulls back. Pitch does catch the outside corner, though. Count moves to 0-1. I think it's so big for the Otters to just set the tone. We know they're a team that really builds off of each other's confidence, and Myers has been such a good leadoff hitter, stepped into that role really well, and sets the tone here in a rubber match tonight.
4 hits now in the series.
0-1 swung on and missed by Quiggle. Count moves to 0-2. Looks like a nice breaking ball there from J.D. Hammer. Right side of the infield playing very deep. Rego hugging the line, and then Keenan Irizarry with his heels on the grass. We've seen a lot of defensive realignments, especially with the left-handed hitters from the Otters in the field by Lake Erie. Hammer comes set, checks on Noah Myers over at second. He's got some speed. Gives him a second look. Kicks and comes home. Ball misses in the dirt, gets away from Tuchillo. Myers takes third base. It was a bang close play, but Mike Weinstein says Noah Myers is safe, and the Otters with that first run just 90 feet away, still nobody out here. Tuchillo squared up his shoulders and blocked that ball in the dirt, but Myers, he's a speedy guy. He has 21 stolen bases on the year. One will likely go down as a wild pitch, but showing how effective he can be on the base pass, Griffin.
Yeah, it does mark as a wild pitch. Great job by Tuchillo, though. Kept that ball far closer than I think Myers thought. That was a very close call.
1-2 in the dirt once again. Another good block by Tuchillo. You mentioned Griffin. He's a really tough defensive catcher.
Hey, he's thrown out more runners this season than any other catcher in the Frontier League. Last night, it was Jackson Pritchard behind home plate.
Tuchillo caught the game Tuesday, so this is his second game behind the plate here in Evansville. 2-2 misses low and away, and Conequiggle works the count full. No score here in Evansville. Still nobody out here in the bottom of the first. Noah Myers is on third. Conequiggle will face a payoff pitch here by J.D. Hammer. Hammer kicks and delivers. Swung on and missed. And a nice strikeout there to get the first out of the inning.
That was the 91-mile-per-hour fastball right by Noah Myers. That's the big league stuff for Hammer. I think it's good for the Otters to be able to see Hammer a second time, and imagine many of those players remember that July 4th game. It was a tough turnaround for the Otters. Was their third game played in about a span of 60 hours or so.
So this one in the dirt. First pitch to Jeffrey Baez. This one will scoop by Tuchillo, and Noah Myers will basically jog his way home. And easy peasy first run there for the Evansville Otters. Noah Myers takes advantage of two passed balls, and the Otters are on the board. Well, that's the start that Evansville and Andy McCauley were looking for.
There's a lot of bite and break to Hammer's breaking stuff, and Tuchillo not able to keep it in front.
Another breaking ball on the 1-0. This one catches inside corner. Count moves to 1-1 to Jeffrey Baez. Well, Hammer certainly used to working with runners on base. He was a relief pitcher in the MLB, so that was essentially his role. 1-1 swung on and missed by Baez. Had a really good response there when he struck out Conequiggle, but throwing a lot of pitches in the dirt early on here. Counts 1-2 to Jeffrey Baez. Hammer working out of the stretch still, comes set and fires. Ball misses just inside, 2-2. So mentioned, both a starter and a relief pitcher began this season as a relief pitcher and works only out of the stretch. This J.D. Hammer, 2-2, fouled off down past third base by Jeffrey Baez. You think, you work all those innings, especially in Major League Baseball, out of the bullpen. You're coming in with runners on a lot of the times, and he likely just got used to working out of the stretch, and it's the only look you'll see from him here now. So 2-2 to Jeffrey Baez. Misses in the dirt, counts full once again.
He's 29 years old now. Finished his collegiate career at Marshall. He was a starter there, then transitioned to be a bullpen guy in the Rockies organization, then to the Phillies, and then was back with the Rockies organization last year in 2022 with the Isotopes in AAA, but in ERA over 5 and was not re-signed.
Payoff pitch catches the inside corner. Jeffrey Baez strikes out looking 2 away. Well, Griffin, we've seen a lot of guys who on the mound will spend a good chunk of their career out of the bullpen and then transition to the starter, and vice versa as well. Tim Holgrafer, great starter for the Otters. He made his way into affiliated ball and worked primarily out of the bullpen, even some as a closer. So you got to be able to adapt and accept new roles on the mound. Dakota Phillips will step up here with 2 away. First pitch to him misses outside, 1-0.
Hammer throws very hard. Fastball already up to 95 miles per hour, which you think more of a reliever, but of course at the big league level, everyone's throwing that hard.
That's right. We don't see a lot of guys throwing that hard here in the Frontier League, but he's got some
that are
heat.
Starters at least.
That's right. One catches the zone, count moves to 1-1. Dakota Phillips, 3 hits on the series. Swung on and missed, 1-2. 3 for 8 on the series, Dakota Phillips. He also has a walk, and one of his 3 hits was a double, one of those mini extra base hits we've seen as of late by the Otters. Batting in the 4 hole here tonight. 2 away, 1-2 count. Hammer comes home. This one grounded to second base. Irizarry picks it up, tosses it to Rego, and that'll do it. Well, a leadoff double by Noah Myers, followed by some heads-up base running, And that was all it took to get the Otters on the board. Otters lead 1-0 here in Evansville. We'll head to the top of the second on the other side. You're tuned in on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is presented by Budweiser, the king of beers. Justin Watland back out for his second inning of work. We mentioned Otters pitching staff that's been stellar the entire season, has allowed 4 or more runs in the last 11 games. Watland looking to put an end to that tonight. Had a nice first inning, worked around a 2-out walk, and he'll face Josh Rago to lead off the inning here.
What a great crowd, too, on a perfect night for baseball. It's been so humid and cloudy and drizzly most of the week here in Evansville. Not ideal conditions at all, but tonight, after some clouds and rain earlier, it's perfect now in the low 80s, not too humid, not a cloud in the sky, and we have one of the biggest crowds of the season here at the ballpark. This is what summer and baseball is all about in a city like Evansville.
Watland kicks and fires one, misses up and in. Rago has to lean back to avoid being hit. Count moves to 1-0. Well, Griffin, we thought we were going to get rain for most of the day, and it ends up being a picture-perfect evening as the 1-0 catches the outside corner 1-1.
I think Mother Nature decided it gave us a rough time recently to just clear the way for the Otters in baseball this evening.
1-1 to Rago. Nice breaking ball fouled away. Count moves to 1-2. So 85 degrees at first pitch. Will continue to drop throughout tonight. It's a very pleasant day here in the River City. Watland working out of the windup. He kicks and fires in the dirt, 2-2. Josh Rago reached base 4 times this series. He's 3 for 8 with the walk. One of those Crushers that we mentioned needs to limit the strikeouts at the plate. He's struck out 3 times in the first 2 games, but batting .297 on the season. He's been a solid bat for Lake Erie. 2-2 fouled off of the arm of Rago. Ball bounced back up and hit him. He was still in the box, so we'll redo the 2-2. Watland fires, Swan runs up and in. It hits the hand of Josh Rago, and he's going to be awarded first base. Well, mentioned control was an issue last night. There were 3 Lake Erie Crushers hit by a pitch in addition to the 9 walks, but Ethan Skinder also got hit 2 times in our Tuesday night game. So that is the 6th hit batter in this series.
Something about Bosse Field and batters being hit. Obviously, the Otters lead the league in being hit by pitches, but their pitching staff has struggled at times with that this season. Pitch right in on their hands. Could have hit the belt, but ended up hitting the wrist of Rago. Getting checked on by Jennifer Hawk, the athletic trainer for the Crushers. It appears to be all right.
That's right, a ball that just ran up and in on the hands of Rago, and that'll bring up Drew Galassi. Well, been a quiet series for Galassi apart from that mammoth home run he hit in game 1 here. As Watland's going to work out of the stretch. Comes home for strike one. Galassi, 3 strikeouts on the series, but mentioned in night one, he went down and got a pitch out of the zone and just crushed it out of the ballpark to right field. So 0-1 to Galassi. This one misses just outside. Count evens up at 1-1.
It's a rubber match here today for the Otters, Lucas. Evansville 6-4 in rubber games this season. But it's interesting, the Otters have not lost a series this year when they've won the opening game.
It's been a trend, and Galassi's going to lay down a picture-perfect bunt. It falls off the lip of the grass, and Dakota Phillips smartly was going to let that run foul, as they so often do here at Bosse Field. This ball just sits down on the chalk, and that's going to be an infield hit for Drew Galassi on what was likely just a sacrifice bunt attempt.
Oh, they got to redo the bunting competition at the All-Star game again. That would have won the whole thing. That was glorious. Wow.
Someone get Drew Galassi in next year's bunt competition.
And that was in artificial turf, which is
That's
not
right.
as challenging. I mean, you think the ball is going to roll over the chalk, as you said, but just perfectly hit. That was just glorious.
First pitch misses high to Kemuel Thomas Rivera. So Lake Erie runners on first and second here. Still nobody out. Watland having to work with runners on base here early.
I've told you this, Lucas. I love a great bunt, and that was the best bunt we've seen all season.
Yeah, it was. Watland kicks and fires this one in the dirt. Nice block by Dakota Phillips. I think there's so many bunts here at Bosse Field, one of the few natural surfaces left in the Frontier League that are just so gorgeous, but they'll fall off that lip of the grass and go foul. And Dakota Phillips was expecting just that, but some tough luck. Got to credit Drew Galassi, though. Picture perfect, certainly. 2-0 to Thomas Rivera, fouled down the line. Count will move to 2-1.
It's a tough spot here for Watland, as we've talked about. He's struggled at times facing runners on and had a few innings this season get away from him. He's had 3 different games where he's ended up having an inning of 5 or more runs allowed.
2-1 to Thomas Rivera, fouled off about the exact same spot, and count evens up at 2. Well, it's been an offensive explosion by a Lake Erie team that has struggled to hit the ball throughout the year. They're 14th in the league in team batting average, batting just .243, but they've exploded for 19 hits in the first 2 games, 20th right there by Drew Galassi. 2-2 to Thomas Rivera. Ball catches the top of the zone, and Thomas Rivera goes down looking. Really good response there by Justin Watland.
Breaking ball, perfectly pitched by Watland. First strikeout of the day. And much needed first out to get himself settled in the second.
That's right. You give yourself a chance here to throw a ground ball and possibly get out of this mess. Just a hit by pitch and a bunt base hit. Don Tuchillo will come up. Another nice breaking ball. Catches the outside corner, 0-1. Josh Rago on second. Drew Galassi on first. Otters lead 1-0 here in the top of the second. 1 away. Justin Watland comes set just above the blue belt. Takes a look at Rago on second. Kicks and delivers. Another one that runs up and in. Count 1-1.
Go back to, as mentioning, the rubber matches and the Otters in series openers. So they've won 11 series openers this year. The Otters have won all of those series, with the exception of the Gateway Series, where only 2 were played due to a rainout.
1-1, fouled off up onto the roof of Bosse Field. Count moves to 1-2.
So to that point, the Otters are 5-0 in rubber games this season, when they lost the middle game of the series, as has happened in this series, where the Otters won the opener 6-4 and then losing 14-9 last night.
It's a trend they hope continues tonight. 1-2 to John Tuchillo. He'll foul this one off down the third base line, and count moves to 2-2. On the flip side of that, Lake Erie yet to win a road series on the season.
Now they've been at about 500 at home, 16-17 at home, but have been pretty poor on the road, 8-15. But this could be a season-changing series victory if they can secure a road series win. And the way the Frontier League West standings are, they're one hot streak away from getting back into playoff position.
That's right, 1-2 runs up and in on Tuchillo once again. Count moves to 2-2. Watland just trying to find that release point with the fastball. Lake Erie dropped their last series, 2 out of 3 games at home against Ottawa. It was a low-scoring series, something they're more used to. This one in the dirt, count will move full to the Lake Erie catcher. So scored just 6 runs in that series, allowed only 7. See, a lot of the Lake Erie baseball games throughout the year have been pitchers' duels, but 33 runs combined in the first 2 games of this one here at Bosse Field. Been an offensive explosion so far. Payoff pitch coming to John Tuchillo. Watland delivers. This one popped up into right center field. Kona Quiggle makes his way over and makes the catch. Josh Rago will tag and advance to third. So there will be 2 away and runners on the corners here. That's going to bring up center fielder Sean Cheeley.
Like the approach, though, by Lake Erie. First time through the lineup, similar to yesterday. Very patient at the plate, fouling off pitches. Justin Watland already at 34 pitches. Still looking for the last out of the second inning.
That's right. They'll make you throw to them, especially how many walks we saw from the Otters. Sean Cheeley up now. He has appeared in both games so far, but each time it was as a sub. He pinch ran in Tuesday's game and then pinch hit last night. This one flared off the handle of his bat, and Watland will calmly step off the mound and catch it to get out of the inning. Really good response there by Justin Watland. Hit batter to start off the inning and an infield bunt base hit by Drew Galassi, but Watland strikes out the next batter and gets out of the inning with 2 flyouts after that. We'll move to the bottom of the second here in Evansville. You're tuned in to Evansville Otters baseball on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
So I say congratulations to Matt Lynn. Matt Lynn, congratulations. Tonight's winner of the Ashley Furniture Homes for our best seats in the house. Enjoy the view for the rest of the game at the Ashley Furniture Homes for our best seats in the house. With your feet kicked up. Also say hello to some of our Jacobs Village residents. Joyce Schutz, Terry Lewis, Janet Toller, Steve Idlow, Bernard Owens, Sherry Owens, Brian Harpenow, and Mark Noel. Great to have our friends from Jacobs Village. Also saying hello to some of our group outings here. Project Associates, they're in left field. Group of over 100, the YPA. In sections 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great to have you with us here at Bosse Field as well. More shout outs later in the game.
Welcome back to Bosse Field for the bottom of the second. The Evansville Otters lead the Lake Erie Crushers 1-0 in a rubber match. J.D. Hammer out for his second inning of work. The man with a high baseball pedigree used to pitch in the MLB with the Philadelphia Phillies, making his 8th start of the season here. First pitch misses outside to Yomar Reyes, 1-0.
Leadoff double to Myers, but responded nicely after that with the 2 strikeouts and groundouts. But wild pitch and pass ball, allowing Myers to score.
1-0, catches the inside corner to Reyes. 1-1. Yeah, just a lot of pitches in the dirt in that first inning, and Tuchillo's a great catcher behind the plate, but Noah Myers with some speed on the base pass. 1-1 to Reyes. He checks his swing, but they're going to appeal. Ty Umthank on the first baseline says he did go. Count moves to 1-2. So Hammer working out of the stretch. Black glove sets just above the purple belt. Kicks and fires. Another one in the dirt. 2-2.
I love the big glasses, too, for J.D. Hammer. You don't see too many baseball players at all with glasses, and if they do, they're almost always pitchers. You wouldn't see a batter with glasses. They're big black frames as well.
Nice signature look. 2-2 to Yomar Reyes. Misses outside. Count goes full.
I used to wear glasses growing up and was playing baseball, so I always looked up to Tyler Clippard. Was the pitcher I remembered. He was briefly on my Oakland A's for a while as a great relief pitcher who wore glasses.
He had a great career. This one fouled off by Yomar Reyes. Will redo the payoff pitch. So a signature look for J.D. Hammer on the mound, a guy who's been well established throughout his baseball career. He dealt with some injury, started off this season out of the bullpen for Lake Erie, but is making now his 8th start in a Lake Erie pitching staff with high expectations. Payoff pitch coming, fouled off once again. Reyes stays alive. 1-0 Otters, full count, nobody out here in the bottom of the second. Yomar Reyes, been a hot bat as of late, batting .330, leads the Otters in average. Having a great season. Payoff once again. This one driven into shallow left center field, giving chase and diving is Sean Cheely. A really athletic sliding play, and there's one away. Well, Sean Cheely making his first start here in this series, appeared as both a pinch runner and a pinch hitter, but guy who leads Lake Erie in stolen bases, and he displays his speed out in center field right there.
That was a great read by Cheely, an athletic sliding play, making a basket catch.
Dealing with some sun that's glaring off the roof of Bosse Field as well. That'll bring up Josh Broughton, new Otter, takes strike one down the middle. Well, the new acquisition by Andy McCauley and company, previously with Tri-City, batted .426 and 16 appearances there, making his debut at Bosse Field tonight. 0-1 swung on and missed. 0-2. What do you think about the trade, Griffin?
I mean, I think it makes a lot of sense for both teams. John Vargas obviously has great stuff for the Otters, but Evansville has 6 starting pitchers right now. Tri-City needed some starters.
0-2 misses high, 1-2.
So Tri-City gets a certainly very talented starter. I mean, we talked a lot about Vargas, how good his stuff is, but working to put it together. And the Otters, on the other hand, needing more hitting in an infielder, get a great bat.
1-2 breaking ball swung on. This was short. Nice play made by Watkins, and Josh Broughton grounds out in his first at-bat as an Otter. Well, the plethora of...
Saw the speed, though. Wow.
Yeah, he made it a very close play on what normally would have been a very routine ground ball. Hustles down the line, so much so that his helmet flew off. Trying to make a good first impression, and there's 2 away.
Yeah, and he's got good speed. 8 stolen bases this year in 16 games with Tri-City at .426 with 6 doubles and 15 runs. Didn't hit a home run, oddly enough.
Ethan Skinder takes ball inside, 1-0.
But he hit 27 home runs over 2 seasons with the Ogden Raptors in the Pioneer League. So he is a guy with pop. Had over 70 batted in both years, was an everyday starter for Ogden. So really quality professional bat that the Otters bring in. Skinder swings and misses 1-1, and it's really that first base spot that the Otters are looking to kind of plug in the last puzzle piece, especially when Dakota Phillips, in a day like today, is behind the plate.
That's right. 1-1 to Skinder, swung on and fouled off 1-2. And I was saying earlier, the plethora of pitching that the Otters have kind of gave them some leverage to go and get what they needed at about this late mid-season mark and try to make a playoff push. Currently in 3rd place. Need just a little more consistency out of their bats, and they're hoping Broughton can provide just that. 1-2 to Ethan Skinder, 2 away here in the bottom of the second. Hammer kicks and fires. This one catches the outside corner. Skinder goes down looking. Well, the Otters go down in order in the bottom of the second. J.D. Hammer retires 6 straight after a leadoff double by Noah Myers. Otters lead 1-0 as we head to the top of the third. You're tuned in on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Kids from New Bern. As soon as they get lined up, we're getting ready to toss those fishies. Team blue, team orange, ready, set, and go. Will and Weston versus Gannon and Gavin. Looks like it's going to be a win for Team Orange. Perfect 3 for 3. There you go. Perfect for Team Orange. Thanks for playing at the end. Fish, toss.
Justin Watland back out on the mound for his 3rd inning of work. Watland, first time through the order, stranded 3 Lake Erie runners. He had to work with some runners on base, but he responded well, looking to find that release point on his fastball and dial in second time round facing this Lake Erie lineup.
Yeah, Crushers fought well at the plate, but Watland, great pitching beats great hitting. Able to find a way to work out of that jam in the second, which is impressive to see as Watland has to work through some struggles with runners on so far this season. And kind of, you mentioned the Otters moving into the stretch run and trying to figure out their starting rotation. Starts like this in July are really important for the Otters to find some answers going into August.
Well, back to the top of the order. Jared Watkins takes strike 1 on the inside corner, 0-1. Watkins flew out to center field in his first at-bat. 0-1, misses high, 1-1.
Watland coming off a win as well on the road at Tri-City where he pitched really well. This is a chance to build some momentum for Watland.
Watland kicks and fires. This one hits softly to the left side of the infield. Watland steps off the mound, makes the play himself, and there's 1 away.
That's a good read by the pitcher. You kind of, every time the pitcher has to make a play, you kind of see the oh no moment for a second. I've got to go make a defensive play, but a veteran like Watland has been around the block a few times, calm and collected, get the first out of the third.
That's right. A ball that was hit so softly. If you wait for Yomar Reyes to come in and make the play, it's likely an infield hit. Good play by Watland. So now we'll face Jack Harris. He takes ball 1 up and in. Otters lead 1-0, top of the third here in Evansville. Watland kicks and fires, swung on and missed by Harris. Count evens up at 1. One and 1. Misses low and in the dirt. 2-1. Well, Lake Erie, a team that struggles to put runs across the board most of the time, last in the league in runs, but Jack Harris has been a big piece to the puzzle when it comes to producing those runs. Leads the team in RBIs and home runs. Swung on and missed 2-2.
There's also, Lucas played now 57 games this season, which is tied for the most of any player in the Frontier League.
2-2 to Harris. Nice pitch. Catches the inside corner. Watland catches Harris looking 2 away here in the third. Well, apart from a couple of mishaps, a hit by pitch and a walk in the first inning along with a bunt base hit, Justin Watland, really good tempo. He looks calm and collected on the mound, and he's starting to establish a little bit of a rhythm. 2 away here in the bottom of the third. That'll bring up Zach Rakusin. Rakusin swung on and missed, 0-1.
It's to play in front of a big crowd, picture-perfect weather day. This is really an ideal condition to start.
0-1, fouled off down the right field line. Count moves to 0-2. Yeah, who wouldn't want to pitch on an evening like this? almost full Bosse Field Stadium, and picture perfect summer night. Nice mild weather compared to the humidity we've had as of late. 0-2 now to Rakusin. Misses in the dirt, 1-2.
For the Frontier League and all its challenging travel on the road, there's a lot of difficult starts, which often you more have to get through it than pitch well. But tonight is all the conditions are set to thrive.
1-2 to Rakusin, fouled off down the left field line. Count stays the same. Yeah, certainly one of those starts that you soak in and enjoy every moment of, and maybe we're going to get the pitcher's duel we've been waiting for all week, Griffin. 1-2 to Rakusin. Catches the lower part of the zone. No, looked like he rung him up for a second.
He was pointing at something, and Andy McCauley is wondering what he was pointing at as well, and he gave an explanation. And
Andy McCauley saw the same thing I did.
he put up his hands and said, okay.
Chris Dykman keeping us on our toes. 2-2 to Rakusin now. This one, check swing fouled off over the Bosse Field roof. Count remains 2-2.
Oh, something had fallen off Phillips's knee pad or something. You know, it was strange. You don't typically point to where a ball missed. It's kind of what Dykman did.
2-2 to Rakusin, 2 away in the bottom of the third. Watland kicks and fires, swung on and missed. Nice breaking ball. And Justin Watland is starting to roll here at Bosse Field. Crushers go down in order as we head to the bottom of the third. Otters lead 1-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We have a couple of lucky winners in the Jacobs Village raffle. Get your tickets out if you have a Jacobs Village raffle ticket number. I have 2 winners. If I say your winning ticket number, head to the outer concourse of the Jacobs Village vendor table. They'll hook you up with your very special prize. First ticket number is 673-1732. 673-1732. Second winning ticket number 5425643. 5425643. For those with tickets, one last time. First winning ticket number 6731732. Second winning ticket number 5425643. Tomorrow is Christmas in July, and we're hoping John L. Smith can make it. That's his favorite holiday. It's powered by the Santa Claus Club. It's also Deacon's Healthy Night. John L. Smith loves to eat healthy. Tickets at EvansvilleOtters.com or call 812-435-8686. Leading off for the Evansville Otters, batting eighth to first base, number 17, John Daunhauer.
Back at Bosse Field, Otters lead 1-0, courtesy of a leadoff double by Noah Myers and some crafty base running. That's the only base hit so far for Evansville. John Dyer steps up to the plate to lead off the bottom of the third. J.D. Hammer back out for another inning of work, working out of the stretch. First pitch misses high, 1-0 to Dyer.
Yeah, you got to like the stuff the last few innings from both pitchers. Great rhythms, good command, off speed on both sides, looking really sharp.
Breaking ball swung on and crushed down the left field line, but foul by Dyer. He was sitting breaking ball there, and he got one. Barreled it up really well, but just a tad early.
Almost took out some Otter bells down the left field line, but it hit the fence right in front of them.
J.D. Hammer sets above the purple belt. 1-1, kicks and delivers to Dyer. Fastball down the middle, 1-2. One to nothing Evansville here, bottom of the third. Nobody out. 1-2 to John Dyer, Otters first baseman for the evening. Kicks and delivers. This one fouled off just behind and above the Otters dugout.
Now, we mentioned the Otters kind of trying to figure out first base on days that Phillips isn't there. And today, Khalil having a break on the bench. That's why Broughton's at second, and then Ethan Skinder making just his fourth start of the season over at shortstop. And Dyer at first base.
1-2 to Dyer. Misses low and in the dirt. Count moves to 2-2. Yeah, it's been quite a while since we've seen Ethan Skinder over at short. Kind of threw off Griffin and I when Josh Broughton makes a play over there at second. But a new look Otters infield and Dyer at first base. We've seen Aaron Beck there a lot as of late as well. He's had a solid start here in Evansville. 2-2 to Dyer. Misses high, 3-2.
This is something I've been talking to multiple people around the ballpark about. There's been a lot of transactions in the Frontier League this week and will be the next 2 weeks. The transaction deadline is August 14th. Everyone's kind of trying to figure out the right roster for the stretch run.
Trying to put the puzzle pieces together. J.D. Hammer puts the puzzle pieces together right there and strikes out John Dyer swinging. Nice pitch that just fell off the plate, one away.
Fourth strikeout for Hammer. Big curveball by the righty. He's retired 7 in a row since that leadoff double to Myers. No base runners.
That's right. The only reason the Otters have that run across the board, 2 wild pitches that allowed Noah Myers to advance to third and score on after a leadoff double to start the game. It'll bring up Brian Rosario. First pitch to him misses outside, 1-0. Rosario batting in the DH spot today. He had a clutch 2-out triple in the 8th inning on Tuesday to give the Otters the win in the series opener. J.D. Hammer sets on the mound, comes home. Rosario fouls this one down the left field line, works its way off the roof here. Count evens up at 1.
For the most part, with the MLB draft happening as well, you're not likely to see very many more pickups by affiliated teams of indie ball players. That's another kind of factor that's out the window.
1-1 sent into deep left field. This one tailing down the line. It's off the wall, and Galassi can't make the play. Rosario will get extra bases. He makes it into second standing up. Brian Rosario, last time we saw him step up to the plate, had that key triple. How about a double here tonight? Another extra base hit by Evansville.
Just missed his first home run of the season right off the Mr. Fence billboard down the left field line, about 2/3 up the fence. But Rosario will take the double, and you're right, got the day off yesterday, but had the go-ahead 2 RBI triple for the Otters in the 8th inning on Tuesday. Rosario certainly with a confident bat and spraying balls out to left field.
Well, a ball that just kept tailing away from Drew Galassi, and he wasn't able to make the play. It'll bring up Noah Myers, who tries to lay down a bunt, but it's popped up. John Tuccillo makes the catch, tries to pick off Brian Rosario at second base, who was hanging off the bag. He makes it in, close play at second safely, and there's 2 away. Noah Myers just dropped the bat head ever so slightly, and a nice athletic heads-up play by John Tuccillo behind the plate. He almost turned 2, Griffin.
A really alert play and uncharacteristic bunt mistake from Myers, who's typically a great bunter. Still have great speed with Rosario at second base. A base hit should score.
That's right. Rosario, 35 stolen bases on the season. He's a huge threat on the base pass. That'll bring up center fielder Kona Quiggle here with 2 away. Hammer wheels around and checks on Rosario at second. Makes no throw, though. Kona Quiggle struck out in the first inning. He was up to bat during one of those 2 pass balls that allowed Myers to advance and then score. Rosario dancing off second. Hammer gives him a look. First pitch swung on and missed to Quiggle, 0-1. So runner on second. It's Brian Rosario, 2 away here in the bottom of the third. Otters lead 1-0, trying to tack on another run. J.D. Hammer sets, gives Rosario another look. Watkins dancing around behind him at short. Delivers home. This one grounded softly to first base. Rago picks it up and will make the tagged at first himself, and that'll get J.D. Hammer out of another inning. Nice 3 innings of work by Hammer. He puts a one-out double by Brian Rosario behind him and will move to the top of the 4th. Otters lead 1-0 in Evansville on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
One big, and the farthest one wins. Here we go. Oh, it backfired on him. They got caught. All right, next up, all you got to go is farther than 1 millimeter, and you won this contest. He went farther than 1 millimeter. He won the contest. There you go. Thanks, guys, for playing the Hickory Picks Up Flying Pigs contest.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. 3 innings complete between the Otters and the Crushers. 1-0 lead for Evansville. Time to take a look at the Frontier League standings, brought to you by Seal Corp. Gateway in New Jersey still at the top of the standings in the West and the East. Schaumburg in the West sitting 3 games back of Gateway. Evansville 4.5, and still that 5-team bottom of the West. Just a mix-up of teams. No one has separated themselves from the first week since the All-Star break. 5 teams separated by just 1 game. Lucas, I'm going to put you on the spot here as Keenan Irizarry will lead off the top of the 4th. If you had to pick one of those 5 teams, and I feel like one of those teams is going to make a run and threaten the top 3 of Gateway, Schaumburg, and Evansville in the West and make things interesting down the stretch for the last playoff spot, which team out of Washington, Windy City, Florence, Joliet, and Lake Erie would you pick to make that run to challenge the contenders?
I think Windy City and Lake Erie are really just looking for some offensive production.
Irizarry takes a first pitch strike.
Those are 2 really good pitching staffs that just don't have the bats. And on the flip side, Washington, I think, is a little bit more of a completed roster that had higher expectations. Just haven't always put it all together.
1 outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. You didn't give me an answer, though.
I'll go with Washington.
Okay.
I know they're sitting at top, and it's kind of a cop-out answer, but I think they have a more complete roster.
1-1 sails high, 2 balls and 1 strike. We have the rare Thursday evening train here at Bosse Field. The trains always come by on Tuesday, but we're getting one here on a Thursday. 2-1. Popped up into center. A few steps back is Kona Quiggle under the ball to make the grab for the first out of the 4th. Want to make your lawn and landscape look like a field of dreams? Make sure you use 10 Bars professional brand products. Pick them up at any of our 3 locations, beautifying the communities we live in and the grass we walk and play on, all since 1940. There's 1 out in the top of the 4th inning, 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Crushers. First pitch in for a strike to Josh Rego, ready batter. Justin Watlin has been excellent so far for the Otters. Allowed just 1 hit, the 0-1. Inside, right, calling a strike on the inside corner. Make it 0-2 to Rego. We saw Chris Dykman come out for a substance check of Justin Watlin, his glove in his hand during the half-inning break. So here's the 0-2. Pulled into the left-hand batter's box. 1 ball and 2 strike. Same thing happened, Pete Incaviglia, in the middle of an at-bat at Tri-City on Saturday. The manager for the Valley Cats asked the home plate umpire there to give a substance check on Watlin. Same result. There was no infraction or warning given, but it's interesting to see it happen back-to-back starts. 1-2. Misses outside again. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Yeah, you got to wonder, was the Lake Erie coaching staff tuned into that game and thought, hey, we'll give it another try? Watlin's dealing so far, but yeah, I don't know. Interesting. We'll have to try to find out what the thought process is.
2-2, swing and a miss. Nasty breaking ball from Rego. 76-mile-per-hour curveball falling out of the zone. 2 away. Strikeout number 4 for Watland, brought to you by German American Bank. He has retired the last 8 batters. So brings up Galassi. Lefty batter swings and misses, 0-1.
Yeah, one of the most established rhythms now we've seen from Watland this year. He's really settled in, and he's dealing now.
Flutters the glove above the belt, delivers. Chopped right at Ethan Skinner, the shortstop, reaches up the glove and makes the catch. Second straight 1-2-3 inning for Justin Watland. He's dealing tonight. We move to the bottom of the 4th. 1-0 Evansville on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
It's time to show us your best smiles. The Paramount Dental Smile Cam. Over 300,000 members trust Paramount Dental, based right here in the Hoosier State of Indiana. Paramount Dental has been insuring smiles for more than 37 years. Keep smiling with Paramount Dental. Be sure to check out Frontier League and the Evansville Otters on Flow Sports. The official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. Leading off for the Evansville Otters in right field, number 33, Jeffrey Baez.
Bottom of the 4th inning, a series rubber match from Bosse Field between the Otters and the Valley Cats, and Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports, brought to you by Old National Bank. Your success is everything. All the success this evening to the pitchers. J.D. Hammer putting on a great show for the Crushers. His first pitch misses outside to Jeffrey Baez for a ball. And on the other side, Justin Watland absolutely dealing for the Otters. Just a combined 3 hits between the two sides so far. It's been a great show for the massive crowd on this Thursday night. Baez swings and grounds one left side. Oh, it bounces off the chest of Rick Houston, picks it back up, throw to first, still in time to beat Baez 1 away.
Yeah, well hung with there by Zach Ricusin, a ball that just took a nasty hop off the lip of the grass. Ricusin knocks it down with his chest. Good fundamentals, able to collect it and still make the play.
That's something the Crushers have to deal with at their old turf field at Mercy Hill Stadium in Avon, Ohio, outside of Cleveland. 1 away, no one on. The lefty Dakota Phillips, the batter. Hammer fires, swing and a miss, 0-1. Picture perfect blue sky today. Light breeze blowing out to center, not a cloud in the sky. Most of the field in shadow now. Deep center field still in the sun. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. The sun reflecting off the Crawford Door building out on the other side of Heidelbach Avenue past center field. Hammer at the belt, delivers. Low, 2 balls and 1 strike to Phillips. This is one of the more scenic evenings I think we've had all season at Bosse Field.
That's right, everything really came together. Beautiful skies, sun just setting, a nice big Evansville crowd with a lot of energy in the air.
Hammer throws. Inside, 3 balls and 1, late, wow, very late strike call by Chris Dykman. He's been messing with us tonight.
Certainly has kept
2 and
us
2
on our toes.
Hammer on the far right side of the rubber comes home, fouled away by Phillips. 52 pitches and counting for J.D. Hammer here in the bottom of the 4th inning. He has not walked a batter. He struck out 4 and allowed just 2 hits. A double for Myers in the first, who came around to score, double for Rosario in the third. 2-2. Swing and a miss. In the dirt, Tuchillo tags out Phillips, 2 away. Strikeout number 5 for Hammer.
A really good off-speed pitch that just tailed away from the lefty Dakota Phillips. Maybe a splitter, a forkball of some type, but another nasty off-speed pitch that Hammer has in his arsenal in addition to his nice breaking ball.
Well, he worked 3 in-order innings against the Otters back on July 4th. He's looking for his second perfect inning here in the 4th. 2 outs, nobody on to Reyes. First pitch a strike right down Main Street. Yomar flew at the center his first time up. Hitting just above .330 on the season, leading the Otters in hits. 0-1. He is low, 1 ball and 1 strike. Reyes had a 2-run homer, a line drive, lasered over the left field wall yesterday for his 4th homer of the season. 2 of his 4 home runs coming against Lake Erie. He had one back in Avon in these teams' first series. 1-1. Lined up the middle, glove by Hammer. What a play. Underhand toss to first in time. And Hammer works a 1-2-3 inning. Hot shot by Reyes, but Hammer just sticks out the glove to make the nice fielder's play. He's dealing. We have a great pitcher's showdown brewing. We go to the 5th inning. 1-0 Evansville on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Gentlemen, here at Evansville Otters, brought to you by Southwest Graphics.
Have you seen Evan? The Otter Round lately. Make sure you tell him hello when you do. Evan's excited to see all of our fans here tonight and encourages you to visit Heritage from your banking needs. Heritage proud partner.
4 innings complete from Bosse Field. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Crushers. Evansville scored 1 run in the first inning, and since then, it has been a great pitcher's duel. What a crowd, though, here at Bosse Field. Budweiser Thirsty Thursday, German Heritage Night, and a variety of local businesses and companies in attendance as well, including Jacobs Village, which is great to see. Plenty of kids at the ballpark on a beautiful evening. It's going to be, we'll await the final attendance total, but going to be one of the biggest crowds of the season here at Bosse Field. Just truly awesome to see.
Yeah, fans of all ages made their way out tonight. It's a really energetic crowd and makes for a fun evening. We've got some impressive pitching to watch as well.
Kemuel Thomas Rivera leads off the top of the 5th. Watland delivers a strike on the outside corner. Justin Watland, 61 pitches for the big righty from Reno, Nevada. 0-1. Check swing. Kemuel Thomas Rivera held up. 1-1. Watland in his 2nd year with the Otters, and he's got a big milestone coming up this fall as he's getting married. 1-1. Popped up, right side in foul territory. Dyer looking up at the warning track. It falls in front of him. And a second chance for Thomas Rivera. Dyer looking back up at the roof. I don't really think he ever saw that baseball, Lucas. He was kind of guessing where it fall.
It was a weird play because it likely spent a lot of its time in the air above the roof, but the wind tunnel that roof creates will just bring it in. Dyer looked surprised that it fell on the dirt.
1-2. Popped up again right side out of play. And Dyer only a few starts at first base this season for the Otters, and just his 11th game of the season. Still learning first base and playing this unique Bosse Field infield, the biggest foul territory in the league. 1-2, swing and a miss, one away.
That's a Sherman conveying
Sixth strikeout for Justin Watland. One down in the top of the fifth brings up the catcher, John Tuccillo. 1-0, the Otters lead. Just still a combined 3 hits by the two sides. Watland throws. Tuccillo lines the first pitch into right center. Long run over for Quiggle. He's under it and makes the catch, jogging all the way into right field, a few steps from the track. 1 pitch, 1 out to Tuccillo, 2 away in the bottom of the fifth.
Not only has he gotten into a groove, starting to work really efficiently as well. Wasn't the case in the first couple innings. Had a couple walks and a hit batter, but it's all behind him, and quite the groove that Justin Watland is moving in now.
2 outs for the lefty son, Chile, who takes the first pitch strike. Watland grew up in Reno, Nevada. Played 2 years of community college ball. The 0-1 sails high. 1 ball and 1 strike to Chile. So there's 2 outs, nobody on, top of the fifth. 1-0 Otters lead. Played at Feather River Community College in Quincy, California, which is in the Sierra Nevadas, as Chile fouls another one away, 1-2. So not too far from home for Watland. And then pitched his final 2 years of collegiate baseball at San Jose State as a reliever. Same school where Otters pitching coach Max Peterson attended. 1-2, chopped off the end of the bat, foul. Watland then went on to actually play with Josh Broughton in Ogden in the Pioneer League. Started the year there and then finished out 2021 in the American Association with Winnipeg. And now in his second full season with the Otters. 1-2, fouled off the end of the bat and off the screen.
That's right, and Broughton, that's where he made his primary transition from a two-way player, primarily a pitcher, to a field player and a hitter, and now he finds himself playing second base for the Evansville Otters.
Behind Watland on the field today. The 1-2 again off the inside of the bat and off the screen. And Broughton actually pitched a few times in Ogden in 2021. That was the end of his pitching career. So, interestingly enough, Broughton just traded to the Otters, and Watland on the mound. Both pitched with the Ogden Raptors 2 years ago in the Pioneer League. 1-2, swing and a miss. Beautiful breaking ball. Chile strikes out. Strikeout number 7 for Watland. He's retired 12 batters in a row. 5 shutout. We move to the bottom of the fifth. 1-0 Evansville on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Encourage you to conserve energy in order to save money at home. But right now we need you to turn up the energy and the volume and make some noise for
Lead off for the Evansville Otters, second baseman, number 8, Josh Broughton.
Bottom of the fifth inning from Bosse Field. 1-0 lead for the Otters over the Crushers. J.D. Hammer and Justin Watland in a really fun pitchers duel to watch so far. The series rubber match between Lake Erie in Evansville. Hammer on the rubber to face Josh Brodden. First pitch home to the righty, popped up in foul territory, right side. Josh Rager, the first baseman, on a sprint, watches it fall in front of him and bounce into the stands. Again, expansive foul territory. That ball's way into the stands at any other ballpark in the league. Though Tri-City actually might have the second biggest foul territory of any ballpark in the league. Their foul territory was also quite expansive. The Otters were just there last weekend. But certainly not as big as Bosse, this 108-year-old ballpark. 0-1. Inside, 1-1 strike to Brodden. So neither team has a base runner since the third inning, now in the bottom of the fifth. Hammer has retired the last 5 batters. Watland has retired 12 in a row, 1-1. Outside, 2-1 strike.
Yeah, you got two really talented pitchers who have found their groove, and when these two do so, it's going to be a low-scoring affair, and that leadoff double to start off the game, or the first inning by Noah Myers, proving to be a very big factor tonight.
2-1, outside, 3-1 strike to Brodden. Second plate appearance as an Otter for Broughton, traded over from Tri-City. He grounded out to short, his first time up back in the second. Hammer readies and delivers. Driven high in the air to left field, back Galassi, it is gone! Josh Broughton, welcome to Evansville, a solo home run. Evansville doubles the lead to 2-0, and what a way for Broughton to be brought in and introduced to 5,000 Otter fans.
Quite the welcome, and he'll get to wear that Evansville chain that the Otters have celebrated home runs with the whole year. Josh Broughton is batting .426 in his 16 games with Tri-City. We knew he'd bring some offensive power, but getting on the board
Skinder
early.
lines one high in the air to left. Back is Galassi, who makes the catch at the edge of the track. One away. Sorry, Lucas.
Good. Thought we had another back-to-back. It's been a common occurrence at Bosse Field this year.
Yeah.
Skinder was flirting with it there.
Could have been the 5th time this year at Bosse Field. Skinder lines out, but it's interesting. I mentioned it briefly. Broughton's got great power. He had 27 home runs with Ogden in 2 years, but he oddly enough hadn't hit a home run at Tri-City, which is a ballpark where the ball really flies out to left field. Didn't hit a home run in 16 games, but he shows up to Bosse and hits a home run in his very second at bat. John Dyer, the batter, swings and misses.
Yeah, a guy who plays with a lot of flair, and he shows us the pop that he has off his bat there. Caught a pitch up in the zone, got his hands out in front, and just crushed it. Took a moment or two to admire it as well when he left the box.
0-1. Outside, 1-1 strike to Dyer. In this tight pitcher's duel, every run is huge. Otters double their lead, just the 3rd hit of the game, but all 3 hits for the Otters, extra bases, 2 doubles and a home run. 1-1. Fouled off the inside of the leg of Dyer, 1-2 strikes. You mentioned it all the time, the Otters' power up and down and contagious. Right now, Evansville has really found a good run of hitting home runs. 5 of their last 6 games now with a home run. Entered today with 10 homers in a 5-game span from 6 different players. So it wasn't just one guy lighting it up. 1-2. Popped up by Dyer into right field. Few steps over to the right. The right fielder, Jack Harris, makes the catch. 2 outs.
That's right, and we expected more than likely to get a low-scoring affair tonight, considering we hadn't had one between these two excellent pitching staffs so far. And one of my keys to the game for Lake Erie was avoid the long ball. Otters had 2 home runs Tuesday, 2 home runs last night. And yeah, you said it best, that could prove to be a huge run in a pitcher's duel.
2 outs, nobody on for Brian Rosario. 2-0 Otters, bottom 5. First pitch to Rosie, outside for a ball. 71 pitches now for Hammer in 4 2/3. 5 strikeouts, no walks, just 3 hits allowed and 2 runs. He's been brilliant, but Justin Watlin's been better. Pitch home, high, 2 balls and no strikes to Rosario. Otters have hit now 51 home runs on the season. Brodden adding to the list. Rosario fouls one off the screen, 1-1. Hammer rocking back and forth, delivers, swing and a miss, nasty breaking ball. 2-2 to Rosario.
Yeah, certainly we've seen the big league stuff from Hammer. It just has missed his spot a few times. The double by Myers, double by Rosario, and then that home run by Broughton. A few pitches he wished he could get back.
Pitch home. Swung on, grounded right side, right to the second baseman here. Rosario to glove, throw to first. Beats Rosario by a stride. Josh Broughton traded to the Otters. First game with Evansville, a solo home run. Puts Evansville in front, 2-0. We've played 5 from Bosse Field on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
I can't even go 5 times around without falling. Not done with the dizzy bat. Maybe. All right, building this up. First base with a little bit of a lead. That's the worst built sub I've ever seen on the first base side. Ain't looking too good on the third base side either. From out of the middle of nowhere, third base with the win. Hey, did you all know the only way to top a sub is with real red wine vinegar made from red grapes and no food coloring? And the only way to get it is at Jersey Mike's because authentic ingredients make a sub above. Now located at 939 North Park.
2-0. The Otters lead the Crushers here on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Working Distributors Evansville. Otters 2, Crushers nothing. Griffin Epstein alongside Lucas Daunhauer, our director Michael Rustin, our entire Otters Digital Network crew really enjoying a beautiful night for baseball on a Thursday evening from the Pocket City. Series on the line between Evansville and Lake Erie after splitting the first 2 games. We've had a really fun pitchers duel to watch. Watlin out to work the 6th inning for the Otters. He has retired 12 batters in a row, Lucas. What have you seen from Watlin tonight that's made him so dominant?
Certainly has established all 4 of his pitches really well. He's not gotten flustered on the few pitches where he's missed his spot or an at-bat where he struggled with his command. He quickly has put it behind him, and he's found quite the rhythm. Sitting at 74 pitches now, 7 strikeouts on the evening. Mentioned he was bouncing back from an injury in his last start. Well, whole new Justin Watlin, he's electric tonight.
Top of the order, lefty Jared Watkins takes the first pitch inside for a ball, 1-0. Watlin, I should say, had some incredible starts last year. At his best, he is really dominant, the 1-0. Popped up by Watkins. On the edge of the outfield grass, Ethan Skinder, the shortstop, looking up, makes a jogging back catch. 1 away. Hey, Evansville Otters fans, 2023 brings new opportunities to catch all the latest Frontier League action. Be sure and check out the Frontier League and your Evansville Otters on Flow Sports, the official streaming partner of the Frontier League. Never miss a game and follow along all the way to the championship. Just visit EvansvilleOtters.com for links to watch and subscribe today for all Frontier League and Flow Sports content. Jack Harris, righty batter, 1 out, nobody on, takes the first pitch strike. Black glove just above the black belt. Flutters and flies. Strike on the inside corner again. 0-2 to Harris. He's been ahead of batters. He's been poised. His command has been pinpoint. Everything up to snuff tonight for the native of Reno, Nevada. 0-2. Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. So I mentioned Watlin's dominance at times last year. He threw 2 complete games last year for the Otters. 7-inning complete game against Trois-Rivières in May, and then a 4th of July Eve complete game win over Gateway on the road. The 1-2 is low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Well, Max Peterson would certainly love to see him go deep into this start tonight. Otters bullpen have been busy in the first 2 nights. Otters used 4 pitchers on Tuesday and 6 last night. We've seen everyone out of the bullpen in the last 2 days.
2-2, outside and a full count. That's a great point. The Otters bullpen probably more tired than it's been all season long. They are getting the exact kind of performance they need to boost their morale and give themselves some rest. The payoff, grounded up the middle, diving Skindler under his glove into center field. The first base runner for the Crushers since the 2nd inning, Jack Harris, a base hit up the middle.
Yeah, good hit by Harris there. Pitch in a really good spot if you're Justin Watlin, but Harris goes down, gets it, and just puts it right back where it came from up the middle.
Sky darkening, sun has gone out of play for the rest of the evening. The lights just starting to come into effect. 1 on, 1 out for the ready batter, Zachary Cusin, who takes a first pitch breaking ball for a strike, 0-1. Harris at first, 1 out, top of the 6th inning. The Otters lead 2-0, looking to win their 7th rubber match of the season. Go to 8 back over 500. The 0-1 high. Pickoff throw by Phillips back to first. Harris dives back in under any tag. 1-1 count.
Good heads-up play there by Phillips. Harris was just kind of dancing off the bag and then took his time getting back. Accurate throw would have made that a really close play.
One popped up and out of play right side.
Overhead foul ball brought to you by Hens Construction. Yeah, that's right. Choose the best. Never regret it.
Watland delivers. Strike 3 called, outside corner. Racusin just standing in the batter's box, staring back at Chris Dykman in disbelief. Called a strike on Yakertek. What a beautiful pitch from Watland. Strikeout number 8.
That's right. We see his cutter put to work there, catches the outside corner, and about as good as a pitch as you can ask for, according to Yakertek.
Keenan Irizarry, lefty batter, takes a first pitch low for a ball. Jack Harris at first, 2 outs, top of the 6th. 8 strikeouts now for Watland, his second most in any game this season. He had a 10 strikeout performance against Trois-Rivières all the way back in the 2nd week of the season, which is the most by any Otters pitcher all year. The 1-0, outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Three-stride lead at first for Jack Harris. Dyer holding him on the bag there. 2-0. Check swing. Irizarry couldn't hold up. 2-1. Watland hasn't walked a batter since the first inning. He hit Rego to start the 2nd. Galassi had a base hit to put runners at first and second with nobody out. And since then, a runner hasn't reached into scoring position. The 2-1. On the inside corner, a strike, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Watland is an out away from reaching 6 and likely securing his 3rd quality start of the year.
We've seen the slider and the cutter both put to use this inning. 2 pitches that can run in on the hands of a left-handed hitter.
2-2. Lined up the middle to the right, the shortstop Skindler to glove it. He thinks about second, instead throws to first in time. to beat Irizarry for the third out of the inning. A little bit of an awkward play for Skinner. He almost underhand tossed to second, but realized he wouldn't get the out. Recovered and made the toss to first to retire the side. Justin Watland, 6 shutout innings. It's 2-0 Evansville as we move to the bottom of the 6th on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Drinks is your go-to for 24 beers on tap. Big burgers and the freshest sushi in town. And all of Evansville, visit Drake's at 1222 Wrestling Road or drakescomeplay.com. Now let's dance. That beautiful Bosse Field, we thank you for your next celebration. The Bob Ranks and Picnics and you guests will receive an exclusive Otters special edition hat. If you'd like to be a part of an upcoming Evansville Otters home game, it's simple. Go to EvansvilleOtters.com or call the front office at 812-435-8686. We're still dancing. We're giving away 2 more prizes, courtesy of our friends at Jacobs Village. And 2 more prizes will be given away at the end of the 6th inning. So stand by the next 2 innings. The first 2 winning tickets, 542-5657. 542-5657. The other winning ticket number, 542-5657.
Back at Bosse Field for the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0. Evansville leads Lake Erie with the series on the line on a gorgeous Thursday evening. J.D. Hammer, Justin Watland, an excellent pitchers duel. The Otters 2 runs, a Noah Myers double in the first. Advanced on a wild pitch and scored on a pass ball, and then a solo home run by the brand new Otter, Josh Broughton, brought over in a trade from Tri-City. Homers for his first home run of the season and his very first game as an Otter. That's the 2-0 Otters lead. Noah Myers, top of the order, leading off the bottom of the 6th inning, make it for Evansville. First pitch, a strike on the inner third to Myers. Otters have not had multiple runners on base in any inning today, but they've done just enough for a lead. The 0-1, low, 1 ball and 1 strike to Myers. Otters looking to win the series, and then they welcome in last place Empire State into town for the only series between the 2 of the weekend. 1-1 is grounded foul, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
It's a homestand you look at, Griffin. You think about yourself winning, 5 of the 6 games before the homestand would have started would have been probably your goal, and it's a good time to do so. Grizzlies have dropped their last 2. They're tied going late into the game with New York right now.
Otters 4 back. The 1-2 is lined down the right field line, running in Harris to make a jogging catch. 1 out.
Some really good contact put on a nice breaking ball there that was below the zone. Noah Myers went down and got it, barreled it up really nicely. Just unlucky to hit it right at Harris.
Brings up Kona Quiggle with 1 out and nobody on in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2-0 Evansville leads. Quiggle 0 for 2 today, a strikeout and a ground out. First pitch just misses, catches the bottom of the zone for a strike. Another common late call by Chris Dykman, our home plate umpire this evening. 0-1. Well outside, 1 ball and 1 strike.
Chris Dykman is on his own schedule behind home plate.
It's kind of like a sloth back there. He sees and then he slowly makes a decision.
Well, it's not every time is the thing.
1-1 low, 2 balls and 1 strike. He goes into sloth at certain moments.
I think it throws everyone off. It's thrown off Andy McCulley once. The hitters are usually a little confused.
You gotta love sloths. They live on their own pace, and they know all the other animals are judging them for being so slow, and they don't care. They're just vibing. 2-1, popped up into center field. A few steps back for Sean Cheely under the baseball. 2 away.
I don't think we have any sloths in the Evansville area.
Is there not a sloth at the Mesker Zoo here in Evansville?
There has been at one point or another. Now, it's been a couple years since I've been, so I'm not 100% sure. I could ask my nephew, as he goes every couple weeks. He loves it.
Wow. Your nephew is a little bit.
That's right. One of my nephews is almost 4, the other's almost 2.
Great age to go to the zoo.
That's right. They love it.
2 outs, nobody on for Jeffrey Baez. Delivery, Baez fouls away. That's a big attraction I haven't been to yet in my time in Evansville. I'm going to have to go to the zoo before the end of the summer.
It's a lot different than it did when I was their age. There's been a lot of new additions. There's an Amazonia indoor pavilion that didn't used to be there.
0-1. High, 1 ball and 1 strike. If there are no sloths, though, I will be a little bit disappointed.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that.
If you're listening on the Otters Digital Network and you know whether or not there's a sloth in the zoo, please let us know. Swing and a miss, 1-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the 6th inning, 2-0 Otters. The score might look like the offense has been sloth-like, but it's really been pitchers that have been roaring like tigers today. They've been dominant, J.D. Hammer and Justin Watland. 1-2 from Hammer. Popped up right side by Baez. 3 purple jerseys converging. It's the second baseman, Irizarry, who makes the catch in shallow right. The Otters go down in order in the 6th inning. We move to the 7th. It's 2-0 Otters on the Evansville Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
I'd like to say a big Bosse Field welcome to Mark and Susie Will. And they're not in their seats. That's classic. Very anticlimactic. Next time they go back to their seats, we'll give them another shout out. But Mark and Susie Will, they are there. Yay! They're from Wichita, Kansas, a fantastic place to live. And they're visiting Bosse Field to see Matthew. So great to have Mark and Susie here. And they're here to see Kat as well. That's all.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. 2-0. The Otters lead the Crushers. To guide you through the remainder of this evening's ball game, he's a national champion, an uncle, and he's a great broadcaster. Here's Lucas Daunhauer.
That's right. Proud uncle. Thank you, Griffin. Justin Watland out to work. His 7th inning of work. Watland has gone 7 full innings just one time this year. That was back on June 17th against Gateway. He enters the 7th inning here, 91 pitches, 7 strikeouts on the evening. He's been electric, just 1 base runner in his last 4 innings of work.
Yeah, there's nothing but just great verbs to describe, or great adjectives, I should say, to describe Justin Watland's performance tonight. That 10 strikeout performance against Trois Rivières was memorable just for the 10 strikeouts, but tonight has been another level of just pure dominance and pure filth from Justin Watland, one of his best starts of his professional career.
First baseman Josh Rago will lead off the inning. He fouls off the first pitch behind home plate, counts 0-1.
And all the more impressive because of what happened yesterday to the Otters pitching staff, crumpling and allowing 14 runs over just 3 innings.
Nice breaking ball there, catches the outside corner, 0-2. Yeah, Watland turns the page and establishes a really good performance here tonight on a big game for the Otters. 0-2 misses outside, 1-2.
Now, every game in a baseball season is a chapter in a book. There's 96 chapters.
Watland deals and fires, catches the outside corner. 8 strikeouts on the evening, 1 away to start off the 7th.
Got that at 9, Lucas. We'll double check. You know what?
I had that as well, but I went back. It's 8,
you're right. I missed a 5. I'm bad at math. I am okay at storytelling, hopefully, though. And in every game, as I was saying, in a baseball season is a chapter. and Drew Galassi takes a first pitch strike. Part of the chapter is that each chapter has to play off the chapter before. So each game is going to play off the game before. That's where this becomes so important. Galassi swings and misses 0-2. The next chapter, you struggle again pitching-wise. You're still down in the dumps. It becomes a trend, and that is the best thing the Otters have done all season long, is they have not gotten down on themselves.
0-2 misses in the dirt, 1-2. That's a good point. They always respond very well and needed a bounce-back performance tonight. Justin Watlin's out here painting corners. 1-2 to Drew Galassi. He had a base hit in the second, flew out to short in the fourth. 1-2 to Galassi. Swung on and missed. 9 strikeouts. Justin Watlin, my goodness.
Just dominant, and he's not slowing down right now either. 99 pitches for Watlin, the second most he's thrown now in any game this season. Right now, no one even needs to be moving in the Otters bullpen, as Jared Lemieux's going to call time and have a word with Kemuel Thomas Rivera. I don't know if he's got any ideas for the Crushers to get anything going against Watlin.
And no arms throwing yet in the bullpen. A couple guys giving each other a shoulder massage down there, but that's the only movement we see.
That's about how relaxed they are right now.
Watlin threw 107 pitches in his second outing of the season against Trois Rivières, threw 104 in that 7-inning outing against Gateway. Kemuel Thomas Rivera steps up, 2 away. Watlin kicks and fires. This one misses up and in. Another fastball doesn't quite find his release point. Seen it a couple times tonight. 1-0 to Thomas Rivera. 2 strikeouts on the evening so far for the Lake Erie DH. Breaking ball never breaks, misses high, 2-0. Watlin kicks and delivers. This ball driven deep center field. Quiggle working back on the warning track, jumps up, makes the catch, and falls into the fence. Well, Justin Watlin strikes out the first 2 batters of the inning. He gets some nice defensive performance behind him there. Kona Quiggle, athletic play over his right shoulder. Justin Watlin, a pretty 7 innings of shutout baseball. Will stretch here at Bosse and move to the bottom of the 7th. Otters lead 2-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
We do have a call to bullpen for Lake Erie.
A pitching change for Lake Erie. Braden Bonner out after J.D. Hammer worked 6 innings of really good baseball on the mound. Second time this series, the Otters will see Braden Bonner. He was charged with the loss on Tuesday night. Allowed 3 hits and 3 earned runs in 1 inning of work. It's been solid on the year, though. 3.16 ERA, 31 and a third innings of work for Lake Erie and this really deep pitching staff they have.
Hey, he's been terrific all year for the Crushers, but the Otters, that was the 8th inning comeback against Bonner on Tuesday night to win the series opener, so a chance for bounce back for Braden.
Bonner will face Dakota Phillips to start off the bottom of the 7th. He fouls off the first pitch over the roof here at Bosse. He counts 0-1. Otters lead 2-0 here in the bottom of the 7th. Been a low-scoring affair, really good pitching matchup as Bonner kicks and fires. Pitch misses outside, 1-1. Just 5 hits on the evening after we had 24 hits by the Otters in the first 2 games, 19 hits by the Crushers in the first 2 games. Been a quiet evening for the Bats, but the Otters have had a few hard hit balls, and that's been the difference. 1-1, misses upstairs, 2-1. Otters scored in the first inning courtesy of a double off the bat of Noah Myers and 2 passed balls, and then an electric 5th inning home run by Josh Broughton, who's making his debut here at Bosse Field. Working out of the stretch is Bonner, kicks and fires. Swing and a miss by Dakota Phillips, some high heat, 2-2.
Otters have Kevin Davis warming up in the pen. I mean, this is exactly how you draw it up if you're the Otters. You have a dominant pitching performance. Your starter goes 7. You have the setup guy in Kevin Davis. You have the closer in Jake Polancic, and that's a perfect night for the Otters. It's gone according to plan.
That's right, 2-2 to Dakota Phillips. Swung on and hit into deep left center field. Working over is Chile. This ball is off the wall, and Dakota Phillips will get extra bases. He's going to stop at second standing up. The Otters dugout is fired up, and another extra base hit. This time Dakota Phillips gets a pitch up and away, lets it run deep, and drives it out there.
More doubles for the Otters. 3rd double of the game for Evansville. All 4 hits for the Otters, extra bases. And Dakota, his 18th, make it 19th double now of the season. That's tied for the 2nd most in the Frontier League.
That's right, the 4th-year Otter. He was an all-star selection this season for Evansville, and the bat has been coming to life as of late. That'll bring up Yomar Reyes with a runner on second, nobody out. Bonner deals to Reyes, catches the outside corner, 0-1. We said it, Griffin, really is a picture-perfect game as far as how the Otters would draw it up. I mean, Kevin Davis and Jake Polancic were lights out on Tuesday evening. They both had really good stuff, and I have to imagine we'll see both of them here as Watlin's pitch count runs up. 0-1, runs in on Reyes, and Tuchillo can't gather it, makes its way to the backstop. Another wild pitch by Lake Erie. Dakota Phillips will take third base, and just like the first inning, Otters have a runner 90 feet away with nobody out. Tuchillo, very athletic catcher behind home plate defensively, but he's had a busy evening. 3 passed balls. As good as J.D. Hammer was, he left a lot of pitches in the dirt, so he's had to work back there. 1-1, Yomar Reyes up, runner on third, nobody out. Bonner kicks and fires. Reyes drives this into right field, should do the job. It's caught by Harris. Dakota Phillips tags, and there's your 3rd run of the evening for the Otters. A nice sac fly piece of hitting there by Yomar Reyes.
Good situational hitting by the Otters. Reyes does enough to get it out to right field, and a much important 3rd run of the game gives the Otters some helpful insurance going into the last 2 innings.
That's right. We mentioned lots of strikeouts in this series so far. You were just looking for productive outs, and Yomar Reyes provides one there. Really clutch sac fly. Bring up Josh Broughton. He homered in his last at-bat. Bonner kicks and fires. This one misses upstairs. 1-0 to Broughton. Making his debut here at Bosse Field, and couldn't have started any better. He crushed a solo homer in the 5th inning. Bonner kicks, steals, misses inside, 2-0. Mentioned Broughton, former 2-way player. He pitched a lot. He pitched actually for the Royals in their rookie ball in 2019.
He was signed just as a pitcher, not a hitter.
That's right. Turns on a pitch inside. This one runs just foul. Rakusin made a nice backhanded play over there, but ball tailed to the left side of third base, and be 2-1 to Broughton. Guy who played collegiately as a 2-way player at both Division I Elon and Division II powerhouse Valdosta State, 2 very good programs, and kind of made the transition, as Griffin said, as a field-only player in the Pioneer League. Here he is in Evansville. 2-1, runs inside, works Broughton off the plate, 3-1.
Broughton's got quite the athletic lineage as well. He has multiple brothers that played in the NFL, including cornerback Cassius Marsh.
3-1, catches the outside corner. Another late call by Chris Dykeman behind the plate as Broughton was working his way to first base. He'll take his time out now. Have a little word with Dykeman. Just discuss where that pitch landed. But yeah, quite the athletic family there. Some good genes, and if you're able to pitch and hit at some sort of professional level, you've got to be quite the athlete, Griffin.
Yeah, it's
Payoff misses outside. Broughton works a walk.
certainly great lineage. We've seen the power. He has good speed. So far, this trade for the Otters, obviously it's one game. It's a tiny sample size, but you like the start. The vibes are good to start off for the Otters, and you think back to Evansville's one other player-for-player trade this year. It was right before the season started, and it was for Leone De La Cruz for the Otters, who would turn into an all-star pitcher. So you like what you're seeing from the second player-for-player trade so far this season for Evansville.
Two great moves by the front office. That'll bring up Ethan Skinder. First pitch to him. Misses outside, 1-0. Well, yeah, Broughton, you and I were both impressed at. He ran out a ground ball in his first at-bat, and he almost beat it. But just the effort and athleticism he brings is some offensive electricity that the Otters needed to kind of round out this lineup. He's got a big lead over at first. Bonner will check on him. Throws over, Broughton back in safely. So 1-0 to Skinder, 1 out. Broughton on first. Otters lead 3-0 here in the bottom of the 7th.
42 stolen bases for Broughton over 2 years at Ogden. Had 8 stolen bases, 16 games at Tri-City.
Broughton deals and delivers. Skinder breaks his bat, hits one to short. They'll get the lead runner Broughton at second. Nice play made by Watkins. Double play attempt not in time, and Skinder will reach on a fielder's choice.
First baseman.
So 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. That's going to bring up first baseman John Dyer. Mentioned Bonner allowed 3 runs in his inning of work on Tuesday, was granted the loss, and then gave up a leadoff double to Dakota Phillips here. He reached third on a passed ball and then scored on a nice sac fly by Yomar Reyes. Bonner comes set, looks over at Skinder on first. Comes home, swung on and missed by Dyer, 0-1.
It's amazing. Ethan Skinder breaks more bats than any Otter on the team. I'm not sure why. He broke a bat during batting practice at Tri-City, and he tried to keep on using it, and his teammates were joking with him about that.
That one didn't even seem like a pitch that should have broke his bat, but 0-1 to Dyer. Skinder takes off. Tuchillo makes the throw to second. Good jump by Skinder, and he'll steal second successfully. Otters move another runner over into scoring position. Good speed there by Skinder.
13th stolen base of the season for Skinder. That's third best on Evansville.
Lots of speed up and down this lineup. You replaced Broughton with Skinder there on first base, and he shows off his speed and athleticism as well. So Dyer up now, 1-1 count, runner in scoring position. 2 away. Bonner kicks, comes home. Another pitch misses up and in. Nice grab made by Tuchillo behind the plate. Count moves to 2-1. It's been a busy night for Tuchillo, on his toes at all times. Made an impressive grab earlier on a Noah Myers bunt attempt that went foul. Few pass balls though. Pass balls that Lake Erie would like to have back as they led to 2 of the 3 Otters runs. 2-1 to John Dyer. Bonner comes home. Dyer flares this one into left field. It's going to fall. Windmill is on for Skinder, and that's an RBI flare single. May have been another broken bat, Griffin, but that bat dies a hero. Otters, another insurance run. They lead 4-0 here in the bottom of the 7th.
He'll trade the broken bat for a run off the inside of the bat. but in no man's down the left field line. Rakusin, probably the third baseman, was closest to it, but that's a near impossible play, pedaling backwards. The Otters again doing a great job moving runners. Their first non-extra base hit of the day, and Evansville's gotten much needed insurance. Now a comfortable 4-run lead.
That's right. It looks like a piece of that bat is picked up by our home plate umpire, Chris Dykman. He'll hand that to the bat boy. As Brian Rosario comes up. Otters have had Bonner's number this series. That's 5 runs now in an inning and 2/3 of work up until this point. Big lead for Dyer. He'll inch back. Bonner comes home to Rosario. Ball misses inside to Chillo. Another nice grab. Counts 1-0. So 11th game of the season for John Dyer. A nice RBI single here in the 7th, providing the Otters some more insurance before they likely go to their excellent bullpen. Bonner kicks, fires, misses inside. Once again, counts 2-0.
And Davis and Polancic lined up to be used here, with the only 2 arms last night not used by the Otters when they needed 5 pitchers last night. And the runs-wise, most runs the Otters bullpen had given up in any game all year.
Bonner sets here 2-0 to Rosario. Takes another look at Dyer on first. Kicks, fires. Rosario gets out in front of one, drives it through the 4-3 hole. Another base hit for the Otters, and they've got 2 on here with 2 outs. Brian Rosario catches a pitch over the heart of the plate, turns on it well. Another base hit for Rosie.
Otters have certainly figured out the former Otter, Braden Bonner, the 3 runs in him in the 8th on Tuesday, and now 3 more hits off Bonner here in the 7th. But especially when you have a pitcher as dominant as J.D. Hammer, you see any other pitcher, you're happy, and Evansville taking advantage.
That's going to bring out Jason Zargowski, pitching coach for Lake Erie. Got another arm working in the bullpen for the Crushers. It's number 17, Ian Walda. So meeting on the mound here. Quite the series so far for Rosario. He had that triple we talked about on Tuesday, and then a single and a double here tonight.
You want to do a scoreboard update?
We can do a scoreboard update.
I know. Yeah, I've handled it most of the year. Your scoreboard update brought to you by WJPS 107.1. You can tune into the Otters Daily Update every Monday through Friday. It was crazy to look at the scoreboard and see all of the games still going on right now. Got some good ones, too. They're in the 10th in Canada. Tri-City and Ottawa tied at 6. Tri-City trying to sweep that game, but the game we've been watching, the Grizzlies might be swept. They're losing 5-3 in the top of the 8th to the New York Boulders. That'd be a big win for Schaumburg and Evansville.
That's right. First pitch to Noah Myers, swung on and missed 0-1. Otters currently 4.5 games back. They lead here in Evansville, and if the Grizzlies do in fact get swept, that's another game they obtain, work their way closer to the top of the West Division. Noah Myers up 2 on, 2 outs, 0-1. Bonner takes a deep breath and comes home. This is going to hit Myers in the foot. He stood there and took it like a champ. Looks like it likely hit that ankle guard that he wears, and that's going to load the bases for the Otters. Something about this series and a hit batsman, Griffin, is that our 6th or 7th hit batter this series.
It's been a lot, yeah. 3 yesterday, and then 2 on Tuesday, and our
2
second today. Is that 7?
It is 7. Wow. I don't think there's any bad blood involved in it. They've all come at kind of situations where you wouldn't want to hit a batter. So Kona Quiggle steps up, 2 outs, nowhere to put him.
5 hits on the series for Quiggle. 1 swing of the bat to put the series away.
Bonner sets below the belt, takes another deep breath, and comes home. Quiggle takes a nice hack, fouls it off up over the roof. Count moves to 0-1. Otters lead 4-0, courtesy of 6 hits on the evening here in the bottom of the 7th. 2 away. Former Otter Braden Bonner on the mound. His 2nd appearance this series. Bases loaded. Lake Erie infield playing very deep. Heels essentially on the outfield grass up the middle. Kicks and fires. This ball is crushed to right field. Seemed to track it as Harris. He's up on the wall. Did he rob it? That is a grand slam by Kona Quiggle. My goodness, you mentioned the electricity he could provide there, Griffin. There it is.
First grand slam of the season for the Otters. Kona called ball game.
He did. That's going to make this an 8-0 ball game. Nearly a sellout crowd. Fireworks go off. Everyone celebrating in the Evansville dugout. Well, Harris worked his way over, made a really athletic attempt of climbing the wall and almost robbing that home run. But it just carries a few inches too far. And Kona Quiggle, my goodness.
6th home run of the season for Kona, second in as many days. First grand slam of the year for the Otters, as they've had 51 home runs. And the Otters getting to see anyone outside of J.D. Hammer, they take advantage. And this is going to be quite a sweet bounce-back victory for the Otters tonight after last night.
That's right. We'll have another pitching change. Ian Walda on the mound to warm up. We'll take a quick break and be right back. Otters lead 8-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
From the bullpen to the Lake Erie Crushers, 17, Ian Walden. Into next, Riley Hall on the mound. Michelle behind the plate. That's powered by the Answer Auto Repair East. Find your neighbor needs at the Answer Auto Repair East. 2319 Oak River Road, 812-475-9000. Saying hello to more Jacobs Village residents. Ryan DeGill, Kelsey Hafner, Linda Poole, Edward George, Donald Hudson, Melvin Terry Miller, Joey Whitted, Jason Hillenbrand, and Adam Kinchlow. Great to have more of our guests from Jacobs Village here at Ballpark.
Well, Crazy Train plays on the speakers of Bosse Field, and we've had some craziness, and we did have a train tonight here, Griffin. Otters, third consecutive game in this series with 2 home runs, an electric 2-out grand slam by Kona Quiggle to make this an 8-0 ball game. Lake Erie will dig deeper into their bullpen. Ian Walda on the mound, right-hander for the Crushers. Jeffrey Baez up to bat. Breaking ball, never breaks, misses high, 1-0. Walda, 2.35 ERA in 7 2/3 innings of work. He's been an effective arm out of the bullpen. Not a ton of innings, but another reliable arm. And Lake Erie just looking to get out of this 7th inning. 1-0, misses, low and away to Baez, 2-0.
Look, Lucas, I don't want to publicly shame anyone. I don't want to make anyone feel upset, but I also want to voice my opinion. And Ian Walda spelling his first name Ian with an E, E-A-N, is just a disgrace.
It certainly threw me off at my first
I thought
glance.
it was a typo on our Flow Sports, but I know Michael Rust, and the guys never make a mistake.
2-0, misses low and away once again to Jeffrey Baez, 3-0.
It's a great name. I don't know. I just don't know what they were thinking.
3-0, misses outside. Baez works a 2-out walk, and Ian Walda's first batter he faces. Well, a unique spelling of his name, but he's part of an excellent Lake Erie pitching staff coming into this game with a 4.08 team ERA. That's 3rd in the Frontier League. Otters obviously 1st in team ERA in the Frontier League. So 2 excellent pitching teams, but we've seen a lot of offense so far in this series. Otters 15 runs between their first 2 games and 8 more here tonight. My goodness, have the bats come to life.
Yeah, the long ball is huge, and you often live and die by the long ball offenses in baseball these days, and the Otters are, I think, in a lot of ways in that category. As Phillips takes a first pitch strike, this is a team that has power, doesn't have consistent power, but when you get 2 home runs in a ball game, especially with runners on, it's going to be difficult to lose. Obviously, yesterday was a weird exception.
Walda, 0-1, swung on and missed by Phillips. Count moves to 0-2. That's right, so 3rd day in a row where the Otters have multiple home runs. Kona Quiggle had a home run in that explosive win Saturday as well against Tri-City. And his bat has stayed hot here at home. 0-2 to Dakota Phillips, 2 away. Walda comes home. Phillips drives this one into center field. Ball dies in front of Sean Cheely. Another 2-out base hit. And the rally just continues here for Evansville. Lake Erie can't seem to get out of the 7th.
For the second straight day, the Otters are going to send 11 batters to the plate in an inning, and I don't think Cheely just picked up that ball off the bat. Lights are in full effect pretty much here in Bosse Field. Change from the sun of most of the day. If he picked that up off the bat, probably should have been an out, but inning just keeps on going for the Otters. What an outburst after a pitcher's duel all day, and really rewards and celebrates the excellent start tonight by Justin Watland.
It's been quite the offensive series for the Otters. Yomar Reyes takes a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Yeah, I thought Sean Cheely had that ball tracked the whole way. You mentioned the roof and the lights, hard to deal with for an opposing player coming into Bosse Field, and a ball that just died in front of him. But Dakota Phillips will take the base hit. He's been hot as well. 0-1 misses outside, 1-1 to Reyes.
We got the final attendance totals, by the way, Lucas. We got so close to a sellout. We fell. We should have passed out a few more flyers or something. We fell just under 80 shy. What a 77 fans shy of a sellout. Reyes takes low 2-1. 5,108 fans tonight here at Bosse Field. Just 78 seats short of 5,181, which is a Bosse Field sellout.
It's been an excellent crowd. They've brought the electricity, and the Otters have reciprocated that on the diamond. 2-1 to Reyes. This one swung on, fouled just above Griffin and I's heads here in the press box. Works its way back into the parking lot, 2-2. Lots to cheer about. Justin Watland, electric start on the mound. 7 innings of work. 9 strikeouts in those 7 innings. And in his last 5 innings of work allowed just 1 base runner. Offense came as well. 8 runs for the Otters. This ball driven into left field, a base hit by Reyes. Windmill on for Baez. He'll score standing up, and that's going to make this a 9-0 ball game. Yomar Reyes goes down and gets a pitch out of the zone. Everyone is hitting here for the Otters.
This feels all of a sudden a lot like last night. Hit after hit. Crushers have had some chances to make some plays. Galassi bobbled the ball in left field, which did not help. Could have been a play at the plate. And how about back-to-back days with a 7-run inning now for Evansville?
We'll bring up Josh Broughton, his second at-bat of this inning. First pitch misses low in the dirt, 1-0 to Broughton. Dakota Phillips on second, Yomar Reyes on first. 2 away here in the bottom of the 7th. Otters lead 9-0, and Ian Walda will ask for a new baseball. He says, get that one out of here. It's been hit too many times. And he resets on the mound. Well, Josh Broughton mentioned making his debut tonight, had that home run in the 5th. 1-0, catches the outside corner, 1-1 to Josh.
Talk about, though, everyone's trying to find all those right pieces to click. Broughton is certainly a really intriguing guy that the Otters have added to try to build a championship squad.
Certainly is. 1-1, misses outside, 2-1 to Broughton. Played 16 games with Tri-City this year, batted an electric .426. Had no home runs in those 16 games, however, but the power on display tonight. Had that deep home run here in the 5th inning. 2-1 to Broughton. This one misses outside once again, 3-1. 2 on, 2 outs.
Kevin Davis, along with the sumo wrestlers as well for the promotion, have been waiting to come onto the field for what feels like hours now. Davis is just standing out there looking out into space.
He's done throwing. He's just waiting for this inning to conclude, and I think Ian Walda is as well. 3-1, swung on and missed. Josh Broughton, he had ill intent to that baseball. He was thinking about a second home run, took a 3-1 hack. Count moves to 3-2. Payoff pitch coming. Ian Walda takes the sign, sees one he likes, and comes set. Deep breath, kicks and fires, misses outside. Bases loaded once again. Josh Broughton works a 2-out walk.
He's worked 2 walks today, too, to go along with the home run. So showing multiple facets of his game, some patience to go with the power and speed as well. And I don't know if this inning will ever end, Lucas.
I don't know. Josh Broughton, though, those 2 walks this inning, they were both full count walks. So not just horrible pitching. He's selective at the plate, guy with a good eye. Great athletic pedigree, as Griffin alluded to earlier. Ethan Skinder steps up, nowhere to put him, 2 outs. Walda kicks, fires, misses outside. That's going to warrant a meeting from John Tuccillo, veteran catcher behind the mound. And he's trying to put together a recipe that gets Lake Erie out of this 7-run 7th inning for the Otters.
The Otters had only scored 7 runs in 1 inning all season. They've done it in back-to-back nights. Sent 13 batters to the plate in this inning. Quiggle the grand slam to top it off. What a way to put an exclamation point on just a really fun night at the ballpark in front of over 5,000 fans.
Certainly has been a lot of fun. Ethan Skinder looking to have even more fun. He already has reached base once this inning by a fielder's choice. 1-0 to Skinder, misses upstairs, 2-0. Well, obviously not the night Evansville was looking for out of their dominant pitching staff last night, but the way the offense has come together this series is an excellent sign for Andy McCauley and company. Walda sets 2-0 to Skinder, popped up, shallow left field. Coming in is Galassi. He makes the grab, and Lake Erie finally gets out of this 7th inning. Well, the Otters run 7 more runs across the board. One of those, a 2-out electric grand slam from Kona Quiggle. We'll move to the 8th and to the Otters bullpen. You're tuned in on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Blue and Josh in red have been waiting a long time to get out here to do the Velvet Ice Cream Sumo. And since they've been sitting in those suits for a very long time, we're going to do one. Make this one count. Make it big. Make it loud. And here we go. They dropped the gloves. Wrong sport. Bluebells down. Red to win. Josh with the win. They both deserve some velvet ice cream. Buckets of it. And they can get it right now behind the third baseman section. Thank them. Give them a nice round of applause.
Also, please give a big round of applause to 2016 Frontier League champions, Chris Sweeney and Julio Rodriguez, back at Bosse Field. Let's give Chris and Julio a big round of applause. 2 members of the Otters' 16 Frontier League championship team. We have a call to the left end.
Welcome back to Bosse Field. Kevin Davis on the mound for the Otters. Otters lead 9-0. Frontier League Baseball on Flow Sports is brought to you by Bud Light. Second time seeing Davis this series. He had an electric 1-2-3 inning on Tuesday. 2.59 ERA on the season for the Otters setup man. He'll face John Tuccillo to lead off the top of the 8th. First pitch misses inside, 1-0.
Now, things can change, Lucas. I mean, we ended the top of the 7th inning with Kona Quiggle making a great catch out in center field to end Justin Watland's outing on what felt like a huge play. Otters pitching comes back out, and all of a sudden, 2-run lead is a 9-run lead.
Certainly a shift in how this game was trending. Second pitch misses outside, 2-0 to Tuccillo. Otters infield playing deep. Lake Erie catcher up, 2-0. First pitch swung on and grounded to third. Yomar Reyes makes a grab just above his chest, throws to first, 1 away here in the 8th.
What a start, though, by Justin Watland. Certainly the 7-run outburst is going to be remembered by a lot of fans, but we go through best starts of the year by Otters pitching. You remember the John Vargas start against Gateway. Tim Oldgrafer has gone 8 shutout, not once but twice this year at Joliet and at home against Sussex County. I would put Watland's start this evening against Lake Erie right up with those of best starts we've seen all season by an Otters starting pitcher. Allows 2 hits, just 1 walk, 1 hit batter in 7 shutout innings. It was just pure electricity tonight from Watland.
First pitch misses outside to Chile. Well, it's a high pedigree that you hold yourself to here if you're on the Evansville pitching staff, and Justin Watland put that in the scrapbook of best starts of the season. Second pitch catches the inside corner, 1-1 to Chile.
He went 7 innings against Gateway last year, just 2 hits allowed, which was his best start, least amount of hits and innings pitched last year all season, so he equals that total from last year. We've seen it. When Watland is at his best, he can be one of the best pitchers in the league.
1-1 swung on and missed. Ball tails off the plate, 1-2 to Chile. It's the Otters pitching staff that holds themselves to a high standard, and rightfully so. You lead the league in team ERA, and pitchers just compound a bunch of really good performances. Kevin Davis works one up and away. Chile checks his swing. Count moves to 2-2. When you show up to work every single day and the guys around you are constantly improving, it just allows everyone to make themselves better, and Otters pitching staff is looking pristine apart from last night's game moving into the tail end of this season. 2-2 swung on and missed to Chile. Kevin Davis strikes out the Crushers center fielder, 2 away.
10 strikeouts now combined by the Otters pitching and the 9 of Watland. Davis adds another here. Now, when this Otters pitching staff, I mean, with the starting rotation, especially this back end of the bullpen with Davis and Polancic, both have been really dominant over the last month plus. You add De La Cruz, the all-star reliever, into there. This team could be really scary to face in the playoffs if it all goes right.
First pitch to leadoff Jared Watkins, swung on and missed, 0-1. Well, especially when you take into consideration adding Josh Broughton, an electric bat, the second base hole for the Otters, you're starting to put everything together and just at the right time. 0-1 to Watkins, swung on and missed once again, 0-2.
93 from Davis. He reached 97 on Tuesday night, pitching against the Crushers. Hardest thrower on the Otters.
Guy who has just continued to get better as the season has gone on and steps out onto the mound with so much confidence these days. 0-2, 2 away as he faces Watkins. Kicks and fires. That one misses low and inside, 1-2. Evansville leads 9-0 here against Lake Erie. A big rubber match that Evansville needed, and looking to be a big one as Gateway trails late into a game at New York. 1-2 to Watkins. Kicks, fires, nice breaking ball, swung on and missed. Kevin Davis strikes out 2 of the 3 Lake Erie batters he sees in the 8th. And we're gonna move to the bottom of the 8th. Otters lead 9-0 on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Lottery cash back coupons. Play ball at the Hoosier Lottery and please play responsibly. Remember, it's just a game. E&G.
E&G and maybe some other prizes given to some rows here in the stadium tonight with the A's of Legend Zip. Guys, if you're ready, get set and go! Our 3 legends of Bosse Field, historic Bosse Field. 3 big hits, 1 big race, some winners at the end.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, where Evansville leads Lake Erie 9-0. Taking a look at both teams' upcoming schedules, the Otters welcome Empire State to town this weekend. They have an off day Monday, and then, hey, what do you know it? Lake Erie once again, 9 games against the Crushers here in July. On the flip side, Lake Erie heads to Joliet after tonight's matchup, have an off day on Monday, and they're back at home against Evansville. These two teams getting very familiar with each other in the month of July. Lake Erie swept the Otters up in Avon. Nice rubber match here tonight. Evansville looking to close out this game and take this series.
Certainly these teams are going to be sick of each other by the end of next week, playing 9 times in 18 games. But I know the Otters were motivated for this series after being swept for the first time all year by Lake Erie. A rough night last night, but Evansville dominating this rubber match.
Ian Walda back out to work for Lake Erie. He's facing Otters first baseman John Dyer. He takes a strike up in the zone, 0-1. Nice crowd here at Bosse Field. We've seen a great performance by Evansville. That one misses low, 1-1. We had a pitcher's duel to start off the game. Great starts by both Justin Watland and J.D. Hammer, but Evansville getting the best out of the Lake Erie bullpen. That one crushed up the middle, but ranging over is Watkins. He makes a nice play at short, and there's one away.
Time for the further check of the WJPS 107.1 scoreboard. We only got a couple scores in, and then Kona Quiggle distracted us with a grand slam. Mentioned Ottawa and Tri-City still in extra innings. They've gone to the sudden death tiebreaker in Ottawa, but we do have some other finals now. Florence takes the series from first place New Jersey. They win to 6-3, and all of a sudden the Yawls, who had an 11-game losing streak, they've won back-to-back series. Taking a series at Hinchliffe, impressive.
Tough place to play indeed as Rosario takes strike one in the outside corner, 0-1.
New York is 3 outs away from beating Gateway and securing the sweep. Boulders lead 5-3 over the Grizzlies, top 9 in Pomona.
0-1 to Rosario, swung on and missed 0-2.
The Capitales cannot lose. They sweep Sussex County. Remember, the Miners used to be in first place. Sussex County is plummeting in the standings. They've lost 5 in a row, and all of a sudden are 5.5 back of first place and in 5th place in the East, while the Capitales have won 10 games in a row now and are just a game and a half out of first.
0-2 to Rosario, swung on, fouled off down the left field line. Count will remain 0-2.
Trois-Rivières salvages the game against Washington. 5-2 win for the Eagles in Pennsylvania. And the one other game in the Central Time Zone ongoing, Joliet and Schaumburg tied at 3 from the southwest suburbs of Chicago, bottom 7.
Waldo kicks, fires, misses outside. 1-2 to Rosario. It's been a strange season, especially in the East Division of the Frontier Leagues. Teams having really streaky outbursts. Well, they'll win a lot of games, lose a lot of games. And then mentioned Florence trying to climb back up in the dogfight that is the lower half of the West Division. 1-2, fouled off once again by Rosario. Nice battle put together here by him. We'll do it again.
I should mention, too, this was an early morning game. Started at 11 local time. Empire State making the trip down here to Evansville. They're likely already at the hotel now. Played an early afternoon game, rubber match with Windy City. Thunderbolts beat the Grays 3-0.
1-2 to Rosario. This one poked up the middle. Watkins makes a nice grab once again, charges across the diamond and makes the play 2 away.
You mentioned, though, Lucas, this is the Otters look at this week and say 5-1 is probably a good goal. Grays more respectable this year, but they're still 11-45 on the season. They're 1-9 in their last 10. Only won 6 games all last year. A team that plays all 96 games on the road, of course, incredibly challenging. But it's a great opportunity for the Otters to earn just their 2nd sweep of the year since May. Myers took a first pitch outside for a ball, and the Otters, as Gateway did. Gateway's played Empire State twice. You look at why did the Grizzlies were on such a tear last week? Well, they swept Empire State. That was a big part of their win streak. You got to take advantage of playing the Grays.
1-0 to Myers, popped up into left center field. This ball's hit a mile high. Both Crushers lose it in the lights. It's dropped on the warning track by Drew Galassi. He was seemingly camped under it, but loses it in the lights. Noah Myers will take yet another double. That's his second double of the evening.
It has been rough fielding in the outfield. All series for Lake Erie was an adventure the first 2 days for Todd Isaacs Jr. in center. Galassi had some mistakes in center field as well, including misplaying a ball that resulted in a triple yesterday and just struggling with the lights there.
Not an easy place to come and play, especially if you're in the outfield. That's going to bring up Kona Quiggle with a runner on second, 2 outs. Walda kicks, fires, misses outside. 1-0. Previous hit by Noah Myers is going to be changed to an error, so he will not have 2 doubles in the evening.
That's the correct call.
I think so too. One misses low to Kona Quiggle. Count moves to 2-0. It was a hard hit ball. Like I said, hit a mile high, just continued to carry. But ball you'd expect to catch had it not been for the lights if you're Drew Galassi out there in left. 2-0 to Kona Quiggle. Runner on second, 2 away. Walda comes home. This one catches the top of the zone, 2-1. Otters lead 9-0 here in the bottom of the 8th. Right side of the infield playing deep. Walda checks second, comes home. Kona Quiggle puts a charge into yet another ball into right field. This one is out of here. Kona Quiggle, 2 home runs in 2 innings, and the Evansville Otters cannot stop hitting the baseball. That's going to make this an 11-0 ball game. Kona Quiggle, my goodness.
He has found his power stroke. 3 homers in 2 games. A line drive over the right field wall. Wow.
He was quite the addition when he got to Evansville. Now 7 home runs on the season. He's got a great glove in the outfield, but the bat of Kona Quiggle as of late has been red hot. It's going to bring up Jeffrey Baez with 2 away.
He had just 3 home runs before the All-Star break.
Nice breaking ball to Baez, swung on and missed 0-1.
Quiggle led off after the All-Star break with a solo home run at Tri-City. Very first pitch, or very first at-bat of the whole All-Star break after the All-Star break. Now he has 4 home runs since, or just in Game 6. So 4 homers in 6 games after 3 home runs the whole before the All-Star break, first half of the year. Remarkable.
Kona had quite the All-Star break. He came back refreshed and recharged, and we're seeing the fruits of that. Baez swung at another nice breaking ball, 0-2. Walda kicks, fires, goes to the breaking ball once again, misses this time, 1-2. You never know how guys are going to come back after an All-Star break, some time off away from baseball for a couple days. Gives you a chance to collect yourself. And not that Kona Quiggle was performing poorly beforehand, but my goodness, ever since. This one runs up and in, narrowly misses Jeffrey Baez, 2-2. But how about Kona Quiggle ever since the All-Star break? Quick 3 home runs.
I mean, he's a guy with such a big swing. He always takes really big hacks at the plate. He looks like a power hitter. Didn't necessarily come as much in the first half, but he has, Baez fouls one off the backstop by the Otter dugout. It has come alive in a big way for Kona Quiggle, and a big reason that the Otters are going to win this series over Lake Erie.
That's right, and we saw how complex of a hitter he can be. The grand slam he hit last inning up in the zone. This one was down. 2-2 misses low and away to Baez. Kona Quiggle capable of hitting the baseball wherever you put it, and put that one in about the exact same spot, just barely falling over the right field wall beyond Harris out there. This one swung on and missed by Baez. That'll end the inning, but not before the Otters can put 2 more across, courtesy of yet another home run off the bat of Kona Quiggle. It's 11-0 as we head to the 9th here in Bosse Field. One more chance for Lake Erie. You're tuned in on the Otters Digital Network and Flow Sports.
Here we go. I got a little helper behind me. He's in 3, and he's in 2. Now he's in 1. Keep your eye on 1 as we shuffle him up. Where's he going to be? Is it 1, 2, or 3? She said 2 after he pops out of 2. She cheats and wins. The Holy Moly Shuffle is brought to you by Indiana 811. A free service that can prevent costly damages to underground utilities. Know what's below? Call 811 or visit 811now.com. At least 2 full working days before every digging project, no matter how large or how small, or even if you cheat.
Welcome back to Bosse Field, where the Otters have blown things open. They lead Lake Erie 11-0, and that means we'll see Kevin Davis once again. Certainly no save opportunity for Jake Palantic, but Davis has been electric here at home. Faced the minimum so far in this series. He'll face Jack Harris to lead off the top of the 9th. Lake Erie right fielder. 1 runs up and in. 1-0 to Harris. Well, it was a pitcher's duel to start off the game, but the Otters have exploded against a Lake Erie bullpen that's been pretty strong throughout the season. Davis will bring 1-0 home to Jack Harris. Another one misses high, 2-0.
Yeah, the big inning of offense, dominant pitching, good situational hitting before putting it all together tonight for the Otters, and just continuing to respond so well. You have low points in seasons, and the Otters, feels like after every low point, have rocketed right back up.
2-0 misses to Harris, 3-0. The Otters have certainly been a squad that's responded well to any kind of adversity, and last night was about as bad as it gets, especially if you're the pitching staff. What a response it's been, though, here tonight.
Otters are 18-6 coming off a loss now this season.
Great record to have, 3-0 right down Broadway. Harris takes 3-1.
It's just remarkable. The Otters are going to continue this 1-2 step of wins and losses. This will be the 7th straight game that the Otters have rotated wins and losses, dating back to the last game before the All-Star break.
3-1, swung on and missed. Big cut taken by Jack Harris. Well, it's a sign of a mentally tough team, though, Griffin. Not getting into any kind of losing streak or negative mentality. They always bounce back, and we're seeing that on display. Payoff pitch coming to Harris. Davis kicks, fires, swung on and missed. Kevin Davis, 91 on the inside corner, strikes out Harris to start off the 9th.
Pure filth from Davis. When he's in a rhythm and his command is on, this is a guy that can easily play at the next level.
He's been painting corners as of late. So 1 away here, top of the 9th, 2 outs away from a series win. Zach Rakusin will step up to the plate. Davis comes home, another fastball, swung on and missed by Rakusin, 0-1.
2 more outs, a run doesn't come across. It would be the Otters' 6th shutout of this season, which would tie them for the most in the Frontier League.
Davis sets at his chest. Kicks, comes home, breaking ball misses inside, 1-1, and it's a shutout that was much needed by the Otters pitching staff, Griffin. We talked about in the pregame show, they've allowed 4 or more runs in their previous 11 games before this evening. Uncharacteristic, but looking like themselves once again. 1-1 to Rakusin. Catches the outside corner, 2-1.
Gateway has officially lost at New York. The Grizzlies swept, and the Otters secure the victory. They'll be just 3 games back of the Grizzlies.
Certainly a big opportunity at home. A much improved Empire State team comes to town, but Otters certainly have a sweep in their minds when the Grays are at Bosse. 2-1 to Rakusin. Breaking ball. Rakusin checks his swing. Count will move to 3-1.
One thing to note on Gateway, meant to mention earlier, they are without their top hitter. Gabe Holt on the injured list to start the week. Leads the league in batting average. That is a big loss for Gateway. They'll hope to get him back soon.
2-2 to Rakusin, fouled off over the roof here at Bosse. Yeah, Gabe Holt, he was so impressive, such a dynamic hitter that can get on base in a wide variety of ways, and he certainly impressed both of us when Gateway came to town.
I really like Jose Altuve, right? Just small and crafty and a guy you absolutely hate to face as a pitcher, and I feel like even opposing fans hate with a passion.
2-2 to Rakusin. Swung on, grounded to second base. Broughton makes the play, tosses to first, and Lake Erie is down to their final out. Well, certainly Frontier League pitchers hate to face Gabe Holt, but if I'm a batter right now, I would hate to face Kevin Davis. He has been moving and grooving as of late.
Still just one earned run allowed by Kevin Davis going all the way back to May 26th. He's looked the part tonight.
It'll be Sam Frontino stepping up, pinch hitter for Lake Erie. He takes a first pitch fastball in the outside corner, 0-1, so he'll step in for Keenan Azari, who was 0 for 3 on the afternoon. 0-1 coming to Frontino. Davis sets and delivers right down Broadway, 0-2. Sam Frontino, guy who played collegiately at Pittsburgh and Elon in his first year of professional baseball here with Lake Erie. Steps up as Lake Erie's final chance here. 2 away, 0-2 count. Davis sets, delivers, misses upstairs, 1-2. Lots of energy in this ballpark. Mentioned a crowd of 5,108 this evening at Bosse Field. Evansville showed out, and boy did the Otters put on a show. They lead 11-0 here. Down to their final strike is Lake Erie. 1-2 to Sam Frontino. Davis misses in the dirt, 2-2.
I can't hear you, Otter fans. Make some noise.
Here's some final roars coming from the Otters faithful. They've stuck around through an offensive explosion and a pitching masterpiece by Justin Watland and Kevin Davis. 2-2 coming. Sam Frontino swings and misses. Kevin Davis strikes him out, and the Otters with an electric 11-0 victory. What a night. Yeah. Pitchers bounce back from a tough evening. Justin Watland and Kevin Davis, they were lights out.
What a performance by Evansville. And as you said, the pitching needed the bounce back day. Their low point of the season yesterday on so many levels. You blow a 7-run lead, you can't find the strike zone. I mean, they were embarrassed. There's no doubt about it. To come back the next night and put together the Otters' best pitching performance of the season. They allowed just 2 hits, the least amount of hits they've allowed in any game this season. Otters allowed just 4 base runners all game, and just 1 base runner allowed after the first 2 batters reached in the second inning. So that was 24 of 25 batters retired by the Otters. That is about as dominant as you can possibly get from Evansville's pitching staff, and this series feels like somewhat a synopsis of the Otters' year so far. Inconsistent at times. There's been blips where this team has suddenly struggled, whether it's offense for the most part and at times the pitching staff, but every time this team has been so resilient and strong, and when it all comes together, as we saw tonight with Justin Watland, Kevin Davis, and the offense, it is a thing of beauty, and the Otters certainly showcased that tonight and got a much-needed series win over Lake Erie to respond after getting swept by the Crushers 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, certainly a mental toughness display put on by Evansville. Such a tough game it was last night. Baseball, a game where you got to have a short memory, but you got J.D. Hammer, former big leaguer, on the mound tonight. He put up a great performance, struck out 5, allowed just 2 earned runs, went 6 innings deep for Lake Erie, but Evansville hung with it. They hit a lot of baseballs extremely hard tonight, and as you said, the pitching was about as good as you could have asked. Justin Watland, 7 deep, just 2 hits, only 1 walk, struck out 9, and then Kevin Davis, in his 2 innings of work, strikes out 4 of the 6 batters he faces. Not to get ahead of ourselves here, Griffin, but really good debut also by Josh Broughton. That's obviously going to be a really important acquisition made by Andy McCulley and the front office, and kind of feels like as the bats come to life here and Evansville's pitching staff looking like itself again tonight, you're starting to piece together everything you needed, and it's coming right around the right time.
Yeah, just an impressive complete performance by the Otters. They have a chance to piece together some more wins by Empire State. They're getting some help from the New York Boulders against Gateway. Certainly great vibes tonight after bad vibes last night for the Otters. And, hey, great job, Lucas. And we got one more weekend together. Let's make it a good one.
Yeah, no doubt. Thank you, Griffin. It was a blast to call this game, and we had a fun one. We'll look at our totals on the evening for Lake Erie. No runs on 2 hits and 1 error. J.D. Hammer, as good as he was, he's going to get the loss. He moves to 2-3 on the season for Evansville. 11 runs, 10 hits, and no errors. How about 2 home runs, including a monstrous grand slam from Kona Quiggle, and Justin Watland. He was electric, as good as we've seen him all year. He gets the win, moves to 6-3 on the season. So the Otters moved to 32-24 on the season. With Gateway's loss tonight, they move just 3.5 games back out of first place. Here from Evansville, I've been Lucas Daunhauer alongside my partner, Griffin Epstein. A big thanks to our director, Michael Rust, as well. It was a great evening here in front of a great crowd at Bosse Field. Evansville Otters win 11-0 over Lake Erie.